In the White House, President Eisenhower signs the proclamation that makes Alaska's entry into the Union official, nearly 92 years after Lincoln's Secretary of State bought the territory from the Russian Tsar for $7 million.
The Alaska Wild Project podcast is brought to you by the following sponsors.
Barney's Sports Chalet, supplying hunters with the best hand-selected gear since 1963. The exclusive home of frontier gear built for the rugged Alaskan terrain. Your one-stop shop for all your outdoor needs. Visit Barney's today at 906 West Northern Lights.
Arbor Digital, the forefront of digital assets, cryptocurrencies, and wealth management, providing a low-cost, research-based investment strategy for Alaskans looking to invest their hard-earned money. Visit arborcapital.io today to put your money to work.
Tailored Restoration 24-hour emergency home services, helping Alaskans restore their dreams since 1972. Services include fire, water, mold, post-emergency cleaning, repair, and remodeling. Give them a call in Anchorage, Eagle River, Matsu, or Fairbanks. Hit them up at tailoredrestorationalaska.com.
Total Truck and Alaska Overlander, Alaska's premier supplier for custom automotive accessories and overlanding products, providing all-inclusive rental vehicles and trailers custom outfitted to explore the Alaskan backcountry with a unique and convenient traveling experience.
Serrano's Mexican Grill, 2 locations, one on Tudor, one on Northern Lights. The Northern Lights location has their new tequila bar. Check it out. Also see their daily specials at serranosmexicangrill.com.
TheTreehouseAK.com, located at 341 Boniface Parkway, Alaska's own and grown cannabis and CBD store. Ask the bud tender what the strain of the day is to get your 10% off. The Treehouse, where the culture lives.
The Connoisseur Lounge, Alaska's premier locally owned and operated cannabis retailer, located in the heart of Palmer, Alaska. Their cultivated products include Snowcap Romance, Aurora Haze, Super Glue, and much more. Find them at theconnoisseurlounge.net.
AKO Farms, located in Sitka, Alaska, built from the ground up with concentrates as their single motivation, with exclusive products such as their sugar wax, full spectrum diamond sauce carts, and more. Ask your local bud tender about AKO. Marijuana has intoxicating effects and may be habit-forming and addictive. Marijuana impairs concentration, coordination, and judgment. Do not operate a vehicle or machinery under the influence. There are health risks associated with consumption of marijuana. For the use of only by adults 21 and over. Keep out of the reach of children, and marijuana should not be used by women who are pregnant or breastfeeding.
The Bait Shack, located on Ship Creek upstream of the bridge. Can't miss the bright red shack. They're the go-to fishing gear rental and guide service on Ship Creek. Tight lines and fish on. Come hook into the action with them. Hit them up at thebaitshackak.com.
Snow Pro AK, your snow and ice management company specializing in business and residential properties. They know what it takes to keep your property presentable and safe. Give them a call for a free estimate at 280-7098 or visit lawnproak.com. Double Shovel Cider Company, located off of Arctic and 58th. Handcrafted Alaskan-made colonial ciders. They also have a tap room downtown on the corner of 5th and E. Stop by today and taste an award-winning cider.
The Alaska chapter of Backcountry Hunters and Anglers. BHA is the voice of our Alaskan public lands, waters, and wildlife. Their goal is to uphold our hunting and fishing legacy while keeping our public lands wild. Stand up today and join BHA at backcountryhunters.org. Damn, I can smell it right away.
Oh, yeah, no.
Oh, my God. The second I crack that thing is... Whoa.
You smell the pepper right away?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy.
Pepper Peak is back.
Yeah, I was burning people's eyes in the back.
I was going to ask, last time we talked about this briefly, and at the beginning of the podcast, seems pretty popular, we do it. I was like, where's a habanero or jalapeno cider? But that's all in there.
Yeah.
Right?
So that one's poblano, jalapeno, and habanero. Yeah, it has 3 different peppers in there at different ratios. What's crazy though is like I don't think we talked about this, but you have to like know the region that they're coming from and how much water they got, because if the region got more water or less water, then it changes like the spice.
So like the amount of seeds that maybe grew inside the pepper?
Maybe.
Because I'm under the impression that a pepper's strength is based on internal seeds in it.
So is there like a burn? Like is it like hot? Like if you drink it? Or?
Oh yeah. Feel free to crack one of those. And
Yeah, you don't have to drink it all. Just try it.
Yeah.
Brandon
will drink the rest.
It'll tingle your throat a little bit.
No, that thing is spicy.
dude.
I can't even have it because I will get heartburn.
So
Oh my goodness!
I have a
Make sure
heartburn
put it up
problem.
on that mic and give it a quick.
Yeah.
so this,
There you go, Jetty.
Give it a little sniff
Oh,
first.
man, I can smell it.
Oh, yeah.
Right away,
Yeah,
it
I
just
can
comes
smell
right
it.
out of there.
Yeah.
That is so good, man.
So the spiciness is
dude.
from capsaicin. I think I'm saying that right.
Sounds so
And that's
fancy.
an oil. So I know that the seeds are spicy too. Yeah.
What's the,
so I
it's the
can't answer
oil? Like the oil and the capsaicin. I only know this because of pepper spray and work related stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's
You
that
would know.
that oil that that's hot.
Yeah.
It's the stuff that burns and really.
So it's the
sticks to
oil
you.
on the exterior of the pepper or inside, like
It's
the
like
juices
when
of the
when
pepper?
they extract and refine the oils and
Oh,
so they can refine it down to like as hot as they want to make it. Like so hot you feel like your mouth is gonna melt out of your head, but it's not it's not actually melting, but it feels like it.
Yeah.
sounds enjoyable.
Yeah, so I think like the capsaicin is like throughout the pepper, and it would be in the seed too. You would think so that would be extra spicy.
Jerry, the verdict?
It's
Still setting in though.
it's still setting in.
Effect.
Like when it first hit, it was kind of like a little fruity, like how peppers are,
Yeah.
and then you start to feel
You can move that
the
up.
spice
You can
kind
move that up towards you there.
of kicks in a little more. It's good.
Yeah, you want
It's
the
good.
mic as close as possible so you get that big sexy going.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, there you go, Jerry.
Yeah, and then you get that like tingle down the throat.
I'm curious what you said about the water or the less water.
Yeah.
Which one makes it more spicy? Less water?
I believe it's more water makes
what I
it
was
more
thinking.
spicy, and drier makes it.
So it makes it a
less
healthier
spicy.
pepper because it got more water.
Well, because then it would have more, nutrients and be able to grow more, right?
Yeah.
Let's look it up, but
Very-
I'm pretty sure that's how it is.
Yeah, look it up.
Yeah.
Those are
so I
delicious,
call
dude.
Mark him, and I ask him like how spicy are these peppers, and then he like looks at the region and
Oh wow.
yeah, and then
That's
like,
good.
There's
okay,
like
well,
a website or
I'm gonna
something?
need some more. Or no, he just knows where he's getting it. He works over at Charlie's, and they know what region.
Markham. Chef Markham.
Yeah, Chef Adam
Oh,
Markham.
okay. He knows.
Yeah,
Is he gonna make it to the meat party this year?
He said he was.
yeah.
Yes.
I can't remember.
He's going on the Gulkana this year. You better get your dates up.
He came last year.
Man, is that gonna be a family
Yeah,
trip?
Yeah.
That's family float this year.
Yeah. See, I can't bring a party of 5 without a raft.
Yeah, you have to buy one or rent one.
Oh,
You
I'm
gotta
not.
rent
I'm
one.
not gonna. No.
Why not?
I was thinking coming solo with like
You can come
with
somewhere.
Yeah,
either a
totally.
pack raft or a paddleboard.
I got my single man raft that would be awesome for you.
Oh,
Yeah, and then you
the-
can learn how to do
Yeah,
it.
the little one man cataract.
Oh yeah.
That would be
Yeah.
amazing.
like
for that
I
river.
need to go do it and do
Learn
it
how to
myself
paddle.
before I bring my
Yeah.
my most cherished
Totally.
prized
Yeah.
possessions of my life
It's a good idea.
on
I
a river.
agree,
I think
man.
that'd probably be hey, you guys want to go
Yeah.
rafting? I've never done it before.
Yeah.
Let's give it a go. Cross your fingers.
Yeah, it should be a good trip. I think a lot of kids are coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good time.
So
Went full transition to family.
yeah, it did. There was a boat, and yeah. Anyway.
Family one.
I think it makes it a lot easier to put it on the calendar if the family can come.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like it's like
yeah.
this, that, and the whole family's.
Luckily,
sure, yeah, put it on there.
Luckily, this trip has been going on far before we were like in relationships with people. So like,
And you
it's
guys
like
have gotten your
staple.
fixes on that.
Yeah.
Without your families.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know,
Totally.
everybody's gone through river madness. They've all gone
Yeah.
through the phases.
Yeah.
Now you're ready.
Yeah.
You know, when the madness comes on, you know how to subdue it.
I think I've been ready for a
Is that
while,
right?
but the
Subdue
kids
it,
weren't ready.
subdue
You
it.
know.
Yeah. They're ready now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all can swim. They all aren't scared of the water anymore.
Well, and sit
Probably never were, but-
on a raft all day in bad weather. You know.
That's all in the
Test.
Gulkana.
Yeah.
I've never really spent much time, in like the interior rivers because I grew up in acreage, so most of it was just all. I always focused on kind of what everybody else does, Kenai, Kasilof, and
Yeah, South Central.
South Central.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, it's amazing on a summer weekend when you head from Palmer to Glen Allen how few people are going that direction.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's awesome.
There's a lot of cool stuff.
I love going up there, man.
Yeah.
I have a love affair with that.
Yeah.
Paxton Lake, Summit.
Yeah. I want to float the Delta too. That's another wild and scenic river.
The Delta River?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What, started like Black Rapids down to the big?
No, you start at the the lakes.
The lake.
The Tango Lakes.
Okay.
So you start there, and then I think it's motorized until you get to the waterfall, or right around the waterfall. And there's a big waterfall you have to portage around. And then it's a wild scenic river for I don't know how many miles. Below there 40 or 60 or something.
It gets real skinny in some spots.
Yeah, I think it would be like the upper Gulkana.
Yeah.
The upper Gulkana is really small.
I watched my cousin pretty much almost lose his life crossing it in a 4-wheeler.
Oh, really?
Yeah. In October.
But he survived.
I mean, he rode his 4-wheeler like a jet ski for a while.
Yeah.
He got across.
Dang.
Yeah, it was pretty sketch.
So does that drop like the water level? Like if you look at the Kenai, like in the wintertime, but usually by October, it's like you could just about wade across it in a lot of spots. But
Yeah, Delta's very similar.
Yeah.
By then it's like whew, summer. It's raged up. If you went in like July or something, it's going to be good.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have peak heat. It's going to be melting glacier coming down.
I think this is like above where those dirty rivers, parts of the river.
I'm envisioning like Black Rapids down to Big Delta and the Tanana.
Yeah, this is above
and
that.
that's like gray, gnarly, hella braided. Probably be, I would think, really challenging to read it.
Right
there.
Yeah,
you could hit a braid and just be like dry.
All the pictures I see from this section are like crystal clear water. Yeah, it looks a lot like the upper Gulkana.
Have you ever done Campbell Creek?
Yeah, a long time ago in a custom Seahawk from Fred Myers.
Nice.
With the blue handle, orange paddle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then you lose one of your two paddles, so then you're down to one paddle,
or it breaks,
or you lose air.
Well, that's round. That's second part, and then it flattens out, and then you're in the middle of, I don't even know where you are.
Yeah,
you're like, oh shit, I'm on Diamond and Arctic.
That's one of those things. Like Campbell Creek, like
back before there were cell phones,
all of that used to be. It was never really like so pristine because it's in the middle of the town. But I remember like when I was like in 4th grade, we'd take pallets and build rafts and like play pirate and try to float down the creek, and we fell in the water and got wet and gulped some of it by accident. And like it never like you didn't really get. You weren't afraid of anything weird or catching something. And now it's like if you were to look at how some of that is now, and it's how nasty it's gotten.
All the bum camps.
Yeah, you'd want to make sure you got a shower real quick once you got out of the water. Might get a rash.
Yeah, it's kind of disgusting.
Yeah, you're right, Jerry, because back then, late 80s, 90s, early 90s, you didn't think about none of that stuff.
No.
You'd just take a bath in there, drink it, whatever.
I mean, it was contaminated, I'm sure, but not to the level it is today.
Right.
I actually haven't really seen a lot of it lately. Not even in the I drove by the bridge or whatever. Right. I haven't actually walked down and looked at the old spots.
When you take your bike on any of those trails, there's a lot of camps on the trail.
Yeah, that can't be good.
Damn, I was just in San Jose. You want to talk about camps, dude.
Oh, really?
Oh, my goodness. They're communities. They're not camps.
And where are they?
Well, in the areas where they have custom vaulted ceilings under bridges.
Jeez.
Riverside.
Yeah.
We got about 3 inches beautiful waterfront.
Yeah.
Flowing through a sewage area. It's funny, but not funny. Yeah. It was just really, really, I think every community has their, homeless issues. Mm-hmm. And I think because we're, here in Alaska and we're so far away and we have our issues in Anchorage mainly, that we think it's bad. And it has gotten worse in the last 5 years. It's gotten really, really bad. 10 years for sure. But there it was amplified. It was everywhere you went. And you quickly are reminded and humbled about how much you actually like where you live.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not so much the snow and the ice and the bullshit, but do we have a homeless problem? Yeah, but does San Jose have a catastrophic homeless problem?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So I was like, all right, ours isn't so bad.
Right.
But it was reality
thinking
check,
about
man.
the homeless thing, because I was talking to my wife when we were in Hawaii. Like, you just see homeless there, and we're like, would you rather be homeless in Hawaii or Alaska?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one? Well, I the reason I asked that too is you're talking about people are camping by the creeks, which is smart of them,
right?
Because they're by at least somewhat some water,
a water source,
and there's the woods. They can make a fire, and so that's all right. But those people that are camped by the ocean, they fish, they do fish. And I'm sure the homeless might even fish on Campbell Creek,
right?
One of the big benefits
see him at Ship Creek, and when the Kings are running, they'll be down there at the bait shack. He doesn't turn them away. No,
I mean, as long as they're behaving. One thing I noticed that was a benefit on the Hawaii angle was the public showers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Once the folks are coming and going and pass through the showers, you're getting off the beach and you're cleaning sand off their stuff and their feet and whatnot.
Right.
They can get in there with a bar of soap and at least get a shower once a week or whatever it is. So there's that,
Yeah. One thing I was impressed too was the amount of free parking. Everywhere.
Yeah.
Like the street parking's free.
Limited parking, but
the beach
free.
parking's free.
They don't charge you
no.
So if you go downtown here, it's
you can't park anywhere.
If it's during business hours, they want money.
Yeah,
they're going to get it, or they're going to give you a ticket.
You better pay here. They will. It's like as soon as you park, they're just like
they're on it.
Yeah, no, you're right. Even like the hiking
Silverado.
trails down there, like we go out to the Glen Alps here, we have to pay. There's no paying at the hiking trails in Hawaii that I went to. That's interesting. In all the beach rec areas, you don't pay for those.
All the side road, all that main road, all those, it's all free parking.
Yeah.
How was Hawaii, bro?
It was amazing.
You look beautiful.
We tried to go fishing.
Damn,
We rented a rod and got the stuff and went out to some spots and didn't get anything.
Did the long?
No, we didn't do the long. I didn't know how to do it.
Yeah.
We did talk to some of the guys, but watch, but we didn't see anybody get anything. But
you were doing like spinner, or
yeah, we rented a spinner rod and went out to the end of one of those long rocks and, and got some shrimp and some squid and stuff like that and tried, but we didn't get nothing. It was fun though. Mateo really wanted to try it, especially after we went snorkeling.
Yeah,
they're in there.
All the aquarium fish.
There's so many.
So it was awesome. It was great.
Yeah,
Thanks
you
for
got a
asking.
nice tan, man.
Yeah, I tan real easy. I went back to the school and everyone's like, the kids are like looking at me.
Something's different.
You look different, Mr. Daniel. You look something, Mr. Daniel. You look different. I was like, yep.
How was the family time?
Oh, it was amazing.
Isn't it great?
It was amazing. It was great.
I mean, it's like if you're like my family, not to put the attention on me, just saying it's all extremes, right? It's love and fun and fights and arguments, disagreements.
Yeah.
Back to love, the sunset. Oh, next morning splitting the boys up. Like, God damn it, guys.
Yeah.
Like vacations are so, with families, you're just with each other the whole time.
Yeah.
It's not like a Saturday and a Sunday at home, and then everybody goes to school on Monday and work and the routine. It's like day 1, day 2, day 6,
day 8,
day 8. You're almost kind of ready to go home because of it sometimes, but not really.
No, it was awesome, man. We had
That's
a
good.
great time. It was fun.
Yeah. Ready to go back?
A lot of firsts for the boys, which was cool.
Yeah.
Like, they never boogie board. They never snorkeled. They never really even swam in the ocean. I mean, Mateo when he was little, with me, when he doesn't remember. So it was cool to see them.
It feels safe
It's cool to
on those beaches.
It does, but you see a lot of kids that still have fear.
Oh yeah,
There's a bunch of kids that wouldn't even go in the water, or not even close.
So
And
my
my
kids
kids
are
are
afraid of sharks, or
yeah. There was one little boy. I was playing
just
football with the
intimidating.
boys. I bought a football and we're playing, and of course other little kids come, so I'm throwing the football at all these kids. And one little boy would refuse to get in the water. And the funny thing is, his family was from Alaska.
Oh,
the dad
really?
was like saw my hat or something. He's like, "You from Alaska?" And they're from Wrangell. Shout out to them.
Nice.
Oh,
Long time fisherman, retired guy in there with his grandkid, and the boy must have been like 3. And And he had a life vest on in case you want to go in the water.
Small.
Yeah.
But even still, like, he would not even get in the water, like, let the water, like, touch him.
Oh, really?
You know what I'm saying? Like, if the ball went to him and then went into the, like, just the waves are coming, he would not get it. And so I would still throw it to him. And then finally, and we happened to be sitting next to them, and he's like, yep, he refuses to get in the ocean. I was like, why? He's like, sharks. I was like, he's like 3 years old. Like, how did he learn this fear?
Yeah.
You know?
It's
But he
intimidating.
refused to do it. And even though you see all the other little kids in the water.
Right.
But
Yeah, I never had an issue with really getting in the water until so in 2008 I did this cold water survival training in Sitka, and they had us jump into, one area of the boat harbor, and I was like, oh, I mean, it's cold, it sucks, but we're huddled up together and we're kind of floating around and doing our thing, and and they teach you about the effects of, like, when you kind of open up your arms and you spread out and you feel the cold come in, and then when you kind of get into the huddle position and everybody's together, you can feel the water warming up. And it was not a big deal until, like, I saw this frickin' sea lion, like, swam right under us.
Oh,
like,
hell no.
like one of the like 2,000-pound sea lions, and I was like, we're gonna die.
Yeah.
Like, this thing is gonna kill us.
Those things are assholes
And
too.
yeah, and I know that, and I was like, this is crazy. Why are we doing this? And the instructors are like, oh no, don't worry about it. It'll be fine. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's not fine.
you see those videos all the time when it's not fine.
Yeah, that's right.
And it was fine, but it was still like, when you're that close to something that has that much power, and you see those things eat fish and they flail them around and rip salmon apart, like king salmon, like a 30-pound king salmon, and it rips it through the air and rips it in half, and you're like, it's going to rip my leg off.
Oh, for sure.
Oh my God, dude. No, thank you.
Who was I with? Was you? And then we were worried about the dog.
Yeah.
Because we saw the one, and it's like, it was like coming for the dog. Is there a lot of numbers of that? Like dogs jumping in the ocean and being attacked by those? Have you heard much of that?
I feel like I want to check it out.
I've seen it. Like, there was a seal that got after a dog in Whittier, but I don't think it's like a big thing.
Okay, it's not common.
Yeah.
Off of Perry, I was playing fetch. There's like Daycare Bay, and then from Daycare Bay you can like go over this little ridge into the, I guess it would be like the north side of Perry, and it's a little lagoon, and there's this boar sea lion like across, like maybe 200 yards away, and I was playing fetch with my dog, and then I kind of like wasn't paying attention and walked back towards that crest to go over to Daycare side, and Brooks, my dog, followed me, and not like 10 seconds later, right where Brooks was, that big boar just came out of the water looking for her. Yeah, it was definitely a stock.
There's nothing you can do.
Yeah, no.
If that happens.
I Googled it real quick, and I couldn't find any like statistics. But in your position, when you're out in a wild area, it's one thing I think by a harbor.
Yeah.
Maybe where there's boats and people and dogs, and they see dogs and they hear dogs barking, and they're smart.
Yeah.
But if you're out in the wild, out there,
Yeah.
and a dog swimming, I mean, that's food.
Yeah, and if sea lion's 200 yards away, and then you don't see it, and then you're out of the water, and right where your dog was, seconds before that, it does this crazy, like, I don't know, it came projected straight up out of the air and like kind of made a little head nod and barked or something. And,
Well, and they don't just eat fish. I mean, they eat all kinds of stuff out there.
Well, they're 2,000, to your point, 2,000 pounds.
Yeah.
A lot of calories got to go in that critter to keep it 2,000 pounds, right?
Yeah.
Urchins and crustaceans and flesh has got to be its
probably
thing for as far as
and whatever else they could get.
Yeah, they munch on those penguins, don't they, down in the south?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, seals and
I may have shared this story before. Forgive me if I'm repeating, fans and my fellow constituents.
Ooh.
Did I use it right?
Good word.
Yeah, man, give me some love. Valdez, like 20 years ago. 20 years ago? Almost 20 years ago. Yeah, getting older. Used to have a bar called I think it was called The Bar.
Super original.
Yeah, very original bar name. Right on the front. You guys know Valdez Harbor?
Yes, and it's right there on the left.
It's got the strip head like Mike's Palace, Mike's Place. I forget what it is. And it's got the bar. I think it was called something else. The club. I think it was called the Club. Another original. And I was staying on my buddy Scott's boat. I was down there just for the month of August deckhanding on his silver charter and halibut silver combo boat. So he had one boat we'd fish on during the day, and then he had a big Chris Craft, like a 38-footer that he just had sitting in a slip, and we slept in that at night. And every night you went and made your tips, and then you went over to the club and spent all your tips. And went, stumbling back to the boat every night at whatever, hour of the morning it was. And I'm walking back, and I hear all this ruckus going on down in the harbor by the docks. And if you've been to Valdez, it has the most amazingly beautiful fillet table setup. Like very, very gorgeous stainless with the big chutes that run down into those big reservoirs in the bottom. And, you come in at, 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and all the guides are coming in with their monstrous lings and 100-pound halibut and giant yellow eyes and piles of black bass, and they're all piled up in there. And I'm stumbling back, and I don't remember what time it was, and I hear this ruckus, and I look down. I'm like, what the hell is that thing? It's one of them like 2,000+ pound sea lions up on the dock next to 2 skiffs, and he's plucking carcasses out of the bucket right out into the harbor. And then there's other sea lions swimming around, so he was just feeding everybody. Pulling those we're talking barn doors, carcasses, throwing them out. And he's next to those boats, and they're like 18, 20-foot skiffs. And he looks just as big as the length of those boats. And that was the most humbling. I was like, holy shit, because you just see their heads and backs, and they kind of porpoise, and then they go down. You don't ever really get a true depiction of how big they are. And then we had one come up behind Eric's boat one time out off Montague, and he looked aggressive. And I remember that day when he popped up and he splashed next to the boat, and he came in behind the boat, and then he popped his eye up, and they got these big silver dollar white eyes. And he was swimming left or right, and Eric's on one corner, I'm on the other. It's slack tide. We're just sitting back there just like, come on, man, waiting for the tide to swing so we can get some action. And he pops up, he barks at us, and his big white eye just goes like this, boom, boom, boom. Looks at him, looks at me, looks at him, looks at me, barks at us, and then dives. And I'm like, I just watched videos just weeks before of one of them fucking things jumping on the back of a boat and then capsizing it because they're so big and heavy. Right. And then you tell me that story, Jerry, that story. I'm like, screw those things, man. Yeah. Those things look like they have bad intentions. They do, man. They're oof.
Yeah, with their red eyes, and they're all bloodshot eyes.
Oh, yeah.
Scary.
Creepy, dude. Yeah. Monsters.
They got salt water in their eyes all the time.
That makes sense.
Shall we start our show?
Yeah. Let's
do it.
Yeah. Welcome to Alaska Wild Project, episode 106. Today we have Alaska outdoor adventure photographer Jerry Herrod.
Yeah.
Did I say it right?
Yeah.
That's you like that title? Right there. How was that title?
Yeah. Pretty nice. Yeah.
What's the abbreviation on that one?
Yeah.
I want to jump right into this awesome picture that you brought us.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull it up. That's it minus the text. But what a photo, Jerry.
Yeah.
So for our listeners, I want to explain because I happen to be here first tonight. Daniel texted me and said, hey, Jerry's in the parking lot. And I run down there and open the door, introduce myself. And he's like, hey, I brought you guys something. I'm like, what? Man, you don't got to do that. And he pulls this 3x3 or 3x4, whatever that thing is.
Yeah, I think it's 24 by 36. So it's a decent size.
Yeah, and I'm like, what the heck? What did you bring, man? And, just a little something I put together and cracked that box open. And what a freaking amazing, thoughtful gift. Photo of what's probably like a 12, 13-year-old ram.
Yeah, probably 13.
Chugach range, right?
Yeah, Chugach.
Absolutely gorgeous piece. Donated to the Alaska Wild Project studio for our decor. Jerry, thank you.
Oh,
so
yeah,
very
my
much
pleasure.
for that, dude.
Yeah, thank you.
Beautiful, man. Very Very, very gracious of you.
How close were you when you took the picture?
Pretty close. I mean, even with a telephoto lens, so I shot that with a 400 millimeter prime lens. So it's not a zoom. It's just fixed at 400 millimeter. But even that still was probably like 30 yards.
Oh, wow. Yeah. He's looking right at you.
He's looking right at me, yeah.
Yeah, he's like, I see you there.
Isn't that funny about sheep? They rarely ever look at you like this.
No, they don't.
Because their eyes on the side of their face.
Yeah. Right. They're prey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Walk us through the shot. It looks like it crested, like you were on one side and it kind of crested towards you and just you're waiting for it.
Yeah, so I actually didn't know that he was specifically there. There was 2 other sheep there, much younger, much smaller, that I was kind of going to go up and go after because I was like, well, I had an idea that he was around, but I hadn't seen him. So I'm like, well, just, I came all this way. I'm not going to just go home. So made a climb and got up on these rams and kind of messed around with them for about 30 minutes or so. And then I saw this guy kind of, he kind of peeked his head around like this cliff that sort of wraps around. It would be like to his left as he's facing us. And there's like a cliff that wraps around and, it's about 40 yards and he kind of peeked his head around and I was like, oh crap, there he is. Like the one that is a pretty popular ram. He's well known in the community of people that really get up there and get after it. And, but it's pretty rare to get such a good photo and be so close and actually get to spend time, and he really wasn't freaked out. He kind of came around the cliff and I was between him and the other rams. So I think he wanted to get there. So I just kind of stayed put and he kind of came around the cliff and came out in the open, sat around for 20 minutes grazing, and I got a bunch of good shots. Some like shots of a lifetime that you think about images that you go out and try to get. And doing wildlife, it's kind of feast and famine. So you could go out 20 times and not get anything, and then you go out one time and like you get the images that like make a career, and the images that people see and they're like, oh, like I want to know who this guy is. And that's kind of one of those things that happened with him that day. And
there's another photo of him, I think. Is this him also?
Yeah, that's him also.
Oh yeah.
What's he got a name?
I just
he's heavy and curled. He hasn't broken his tips off yet. I think this one looks like it's about to come off.
Yeah, he's
based on the other angle. Yeah,
on the other angle, the that lamb tip there is starting to break off a little bit, but yeah, he got the cover of the fall issue of the Wild Sheep National magazine, and then I went down to Reno because I entered this photo in the photo contest that they had.
Is that the one we were voting for?
Yeah. And so this is the image that ended up winning the overall.
Right on. Yeah, what did you win?
It was a pair of Leica binos.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Sweet, dude.
Yeah,
right
super
on.
nice.
Yeah, the rangefinder ones?
No, not that nice.
Oh, come on, Wild Sheep Foundation.
No, but they were pretty nice. This guy got he's basically kissing the damn ram. Come on.
Yeah. What a beauty.
That photo I'd say is my favorite right there. Just that, isn't that thing like right off the Kuyu, like the jacket, like the
pretty much. Pretty much. I wonder if you when hunters go up and they're ready to take the shot, they got the camera in the hand. Do you hike with it in your hand ready to go, or do you pull it like in the pack like a quick draw?
So when I get up to a certain point, I don't really, on the initial approach, I have all my gears kind of stowed away because you don't want to take a fall and drop it. But once you get up to a certain point, it's kind of like, it's just like hunting, when you start to get within range and you're like, oh, he's like 300 yards away, I'm going to get my stuff ready and then start getting even closer. And A lot of it is like it's kind of more like archery hunting than rifle hunting, because you're playing the wind and you're using cover, and there's times where that's what you have to do to get a shot. And then there's other times where, like this occasion, that I was known to him. He saw me. He could even smell me.
Yeah.
And he just didn't care.
Just posed.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. He was almost ready for it, waiting for you. He looks like an old boy too, doesn't he?
Yeah, really old. Like probably, we're thinking, probably 13.
Yeah, we did a little count on the right side.
Do you have like a like where's the camera? Is it like on your neck, on the thing? Are you holding it in your hand?
It's in a backpack, and then I'll take it out and set it up, and so it's kind of it's not really a process to put it together, but so you get your camera body and you get your lens, and then it's about 24 inches long, and then there's a lens hood that goes over the front glass on the element, so rocks and stuff don't bang it or whatever, and keeps the sun out of the shot a little bit. So it takes a minute to set it up, and it's
okay.
And you're on a tripod?
Yeah, most of the time it's just freehand.
Okay.
Because like a tripod, there, it could be handy or it could be a hindrance, and I've kind of gotten to where I didn't use one for the longest time, and then there's a few shots where this last fall I was like, man, I really wish I had a tripod, because when the moment comes, you can have your camera set right there ready to go, and you're just waiting for it to stand up. Like if you got a sheep that's bedded on a cliff, and there's nothing you can do, you just got to wait until he stands up. And
that could be so long.
it could be it could be 30 minutes, it could be 3 hours.
Yeah.
And there was one really nice shot that I missed, and if I had a tripod and it was ready to go and just sitting there locked in on that spot, it would have been, I would have made something. But it's kind of, you just live and learn, and I'll probably go back. I'll probably start carrying it again all the time, and then I'll probably go back to not carrying it because it gets heavy after a while.
Yeah,
I bet.
What's your ideal range?
I mean, ideally, with a big zoom, if you're like 50 yards, you can make some cool stuff.
Yeah.
And then there's it's nice to have that zoom and get those nice tight portraits, but then it's kind of, you can get into diminishing returns, because if you're too close, the lens is not going to focus.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could be so close that you can't really, you can't make the shot that you want, because you're looking at the whole scene. And if you just got like a picture of half a head, I mean, it could be artistic and in the right conditions, in the right setting, but most of the time, you like, especially with sheep, you want to see the whole sheep, or you want to see part of the environment, or at least know that that's a ram and it's standing on a mountain and there's another mountain in the background, or something like that.
Yeah, glacier or something.
Glacier,
Yeah.
I brought that up to carrying because I've been seeing more and more cool things, like I see marsupial. I mean, I have their bino thing, and I see their chest pack.
Yeah.
And we've talked about on the show, like different cool, like life vests and life jackets and things in pockets. And I wonder if one of the photography companies had invented or have something that's like a
quick draw.
A quick draw.
Yeah, there
like
is, right? There's specific camera harnesses.
Yeah, there's a company called Cotton Carrier, and I'm not sponsored by them or anything, but it's pretty handy. It's got
pull it up.
Yeah,
a mount.
There's another brand that I saw.
There's like
too.
a little there's a mount that goes on the bottom of your camera or the bottom of your lens, and then it's like a male female bracket that kind of goes together, and it's a quick release where you just turn your camera 90 degrees and you slide it down into the bracket and turn it 180, and it stays there.
I see it. Yeah, that's not what I envisioned. I envisioned like one of these hunting companies, with whoever it may be, just making, because so many hunters and outdoor people are carrying cameras and camera stuff now. Like, I'm surprised they haven't. I mean, I could see marsupial doing that, you know.
Well, so it's interesting you mentioned marsupial. Last year I reached out to them, and I was like, hey, you know, like I do a lot of hunting, but I do a lot of photography, and I just mentioned, hey, you know, like kind of what you just were talking about, easy access to the camera, you know, while you're out hunting, and they're kind of, because it's kind of photography, it's real niche, you know, so like if they, I could see why they weren't really interested, because if you went full bore and you made that, if, you know, you only got 100 people that bought it, then it'd be kind of a...
You should do a custom one just for Jerry.
I'd
that's all right. It doesn't seem like a lot of protection or anything like that, you know?
Yeah, it's out in the open.
I would think you could make a chest carrier like that, but it's like padded around. It's not so exposed.
They start to get, you know,
heavy.
Anything that's photography and it's padded and it's a pouch that's made for a lens or a camera, they're real big and bulky, and that's kind of the issue.
It becomes cumbersome.
Yeah, it sounds like there's a market there.
Well, and then there's a lot. And then you're wearing a pack, so you got your pack, and then you got that thing hanging off the front.
Yeah,
and you're trying to.
Well, it seems the same as people that have the binos and the pistol and the. You know,
those are
all the things, and they got like all this crazy
Side
stuff.
pockets.
You know what I'm saying? Or the fly fisherman dude that has the crazy, all the stuff on there, and it just seems like it's a ton of stuff. You know,
a bunch of shit's hanging off the front.
Yeah, like
some beats.
Yeah, I'm surprised there hasn't been a good photo, like a camera one. Anyway, someone smart out there can do it.
Yeah, no, that's pretty cool though. Is that kind of similar to what your camera looks like when it's all suited up?
So I've got one of my smaller lenses would look similar to that, but the one that the cotton carrier I have straps to, it wraps around the backpack strap, so it's not on your chest, but it would be like the kind of around where you would put a hose for a camelback. It straps to that spot,
kind of like that.
Yeah, just like that right there.
That's cool.
That's a little more. Look, you see, he's got his marsupial binos.
No, those are something else.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
That's the Kafaru bag.
Yeah.
Okay, but just in general, though, he's got his bino harness. Oh, he's got those badass Sitka leather gloves, man. I have a pair of those. I love them. Dude, they don't make them anymore,
They
man.
look badass.
They are, dude. They're the shit. That's really cool, man. That's more convenient. This guy's a pretty famous photographer. I've seen him before.
Yeah, Stephen Drake. He shoots for.
Yeah. Okay, that's who that is.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. He's got a bunch of sheds in his backpack. Way cool.
Yeah, I mean carrying it like that, you know, it's real handy with a smaller lens. You know, if you've got kind of like I call it like a walkabout lens, like a 24 to 70, 70 to 200. 100 to 400 zoom, you can kind of get away with it, but they're starting to get pretty big and bulky. You know, weigh a couple pounds along with the weight of the camera. You know, I've got it's a 400 millimeter prime, and it's f2.8, so it lets in a lot of light. You could shoot. You know, it's good for wildlife. It's a fast lens.
You pull that up, Brandon?
The camera itself,
the one he's talking about.
Yeah, what was it again, Jerry?
So if you just look for Canon 400 millimeter f2.8.
Canon 400.
It's right down there, 2.8.
So like the
2.8i.
2.8i, yeah.
The double I.
So like just the lens itself weighs like 8 pounds.
Oh,
and
wow.
That's a Magnum.
Then you put another 2 pounds for your
that
camera
bad
body.
Chicken right there, the big boy.
Yeah.
Holy moly! Is it white like that?
Yeah. Yeah. So they're
Sweet.
It comes with a little handle so you can hold it up steady.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, so you have your camera
Like this.
on the right. Oh wow.
Yeah, so you can
Yeah,
hold
so
it.
they're-
Well, 8 pounds, dude, that's a lot of weight.
Yeah, it is a lot of weight. It's hard to, you know, like if you have a plan to go somewhere and like backpack in, and
This dude's candies bag is 8 pounds.
Yeah, let's not worry about that.
but it's just
Let's not worry about
it's
that.
not so much the weight, because I would, you know, the way I look at it is like if I'm going to carry that lens in the camera, and then like, you know, half dozen batteries and other stuff that goes with the kit, it's no different than like taking a rifle or a spotting scope and adding that extra weight, but it's just the size. You know, it's bulky and it's kind of awkward to get around with, so it takes up a lot of volume in your pack, and it's not. You know, they're so expensive that you don't want to strap it to your pack like a rifle and
Yeah, let it get
beating it on the
dinged up.
rocks.
Right.
And,
Yeah, no way.
Can you do in your setup where you're hunting and bring your photo stuff, or it's like one or the other?
If it's big stuff like this for wildlife photography, it's kind of one or the other. But I'll do, you know, like the smaller, like the walkabout lenses. They'll, you know, they don't weigh that much, so it's not bad to add that to it. It's kind of hard to get around if you're going to go like on a backpack sheep hunt, because you're already kind of maxed out on space and volume and weight, and you know, you got a 50-pound pack, and then you're like, oh well, it's another 6 pounds of camera gear, and then
you need like a camera caddy.
Yeah.
Carry all the camera stuff.
The Sherpa?
Yeah.
The camera Sherpa?
A Sherpa.
The camera caddy.
You're only 50 pounds?
Usually it's 40, 48, 50, yeah.
You don't know how to eat pounds of candy?
I don't know how you guys...
You don't bring creamer?
I don't know how you guys fucking do it, dude. That's the problem. You're not bringing the dehydrated beer. That's where you're messing up.
The dehydrated beer?
You have dehydrated beer?
No, I just like to talk shit.
Yeah.
I think that's light anyway. It's probably just powder, right?
I do bring a little bit of gin.
That's cool.
Like a shot worth for a day.
I think I'm going to start bringing the scotch.
Well, you brought you brought like little, which I thought was genius, the shooters.
Yeah.
Instead of bringing a big old thing like that.
Oh, that's a good idea.
What are you going to do with that, you know?
Yeah.
You put it in a platypus and you rock that shit. What are you talking about? What are you going to do with that?
Oh, okay. I see.
I just put them in those like little airplane water bottles.
Oh, cool.
And then also if you just get the little shooters.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think those shooters I had like 2 of those, and the rest of the gin was like in my.
You just save it for a rainy day or like
no,
a celebration?
Like one a night before, you know.
Oh, you packed like camp. One per evening?
One shot. So I think I had 2 of those.
Just 24 little things. That's
yeah, I got 24 little things. But and then I bring that little.
You're now taking a fifth.
Oh, what's it like? Crystal Light.
Yeah.
You know, and you take the gin and then mix it with the Crystal Light, and that's
slick.
Gin and juice, baby.
It's always cold water.
That's why we're
You don't
screwing
need
up,
ice.
and we're not bringing liquor.
Yeah, I don't bring candy.
Oh, you're trading one for the other.
Well, I just don't eat candy. Although those sour worms you had, Daniel, were good.
Or gummy bears.
I gotta have sour something.
But I do have chocolate. I bring chocolate. I guess that's candy. You know, I bring the fancy chocolate.
Wait, hold on a second. So. You don't bring a full size Kit Kat?
No, I don't bring.
No, he brings the whole Costco thing of dark chocolate caramel.
Oh, I did do that, did you?
Don't let him fool you now.
Yeah, so I guess we did have candy this
Jerry,
year.
if you're going in 50 pounds, you must be sacrificing the goods.
A lot of it is it's clothes. Like I'll go. It's pretty minimal on clothing.
I'm kind of like messing with you because I'm way heavier than that.
And then, so if I
don't even want to tell you,
if I've got a 50 pound, like if my total kit is 50 pounds,
it's with a rifle and a spotting scope.
With the rifle, spotter, this little tripod I've got. It might, 2
liters of water, 1 liter.
That's all minus the water weight.
Okay.
So it's just strictly just the gear. So it'll break down to probably right around 50. And then the way I pack it is like 15 pounds of it is food, you know, because it's.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't get around that usually.
Yeah.
And I have to eat. I eat a lot. Even if I eat a lot on a sheep hunt, I still end up like a 10-day sheep hunt. I'll lose 10 pounds.
Yeah.
And I'm small already, so I really can't afford to lose too much. So 15 to 20 pounds of food. Some people hear like 20 pounds of food. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's not, man.
Not really. I mean, and you don't want to go into a calorie deficit doing that either, because you'll crash and burn out there. You won't have energy. You know, you'll be lazy around camp. I mean, you got to eat.
Yeah,
that's right. Eat.
Before we go to the break, number 1 favorite dehydrated meal?
That's a good question.
It's pretty tough.
You got to eat the same one for a week.
I mean,
yep. You're only allowed to bring one. 7-day hunt every night.
There's
Brandon, put the pressure on.
No pressure, Jerry.
there's a lot of good ones.
Daniel pumped me up.
You know, I've kind of it's kind of hard to pick just one because I've got like a favorite from all of them.
Yeah.
But,
you can only pick one, Jerry.
There's Heather's Choice makes shepherd's pie. It's really good.
I've never had that.
That's one.
It's one of the newer ones that
it is.
yeah.
Like just came out this year.
Last year.
Okay.
Yeah, Christmas
She
time.
kind of got it dialed in last year, and then I got a few early samples to kind of run a little bit, and it was
nice, dude.
yeah, it was on it.
Okay, good answer.
Yeah,
good answer.
We're gonna have to try it.
We'll be right back, and we'll
appetizer.
get into the other favorites we got around here. This guy's gonna say candy.
Barney Sports Chalet, supplying hunters with the best hand-selected gear since 1963. Barney specializes in supplying hunters with the absolute best Alaskan-proven gear on the market for some of nature's most rugged and demanding terrain. Whether you're headed to the remote volcanic islands of the Alaska Peninsula in search of a brown bear, or the shale-infested glacial valleys of the Brooks Range for Dall sheep, it is critical you choose the right gear for your dream hunt. Don't miss Barney's exclusive brand, Frontier Gear of Alaska, tested from the high mountains of Tajikistan to the extreme conditions of Alaska. These products were designed for high performance and durability. Frontier Gear was derived from decades of experience hunting big game in Alaska. Paired with other top brands, it provides you the absolute best gear selection anywhere in the world. Stop in at Barney's Sports Chalet in Anchorage on Northern Lights, or check out their custom website and reference tool at barneysports.com.
The Alaska chapter of Backcountry Hunters and Anglers. BHA is the voice of our Alaska public lands, waters, and wildlife. From national level policy work to engagement with boots on the ground projects from Kotzebue to Ketchikan, BHA performs public land cleanups, hunting and fishing clinics, and community education to help take your game to the next level. BHA's community-minded goal is to uphold our hunting and fishing legacy while keeping wildlands wild and fostering the next generation of sportsmen and women for years to come. Make sure to follow BHA Alaska for upcoming events, local brewery pint nights, and more. Stand up for Alaska public lands and waters by supporting the Alaska chapter of Backcountry Hunters and Anglers. Join us today at backcountryhunters.org.
The Treehouse AK, your one-stop dispensary located at 341 Boniface Parkway. Be sure to ask the bud tender about their deal of the day, because honestly, there's always something good on deck. And guys, listen, this is where the culture lives. At the Treehouse, their dedication to servicing consumers has been developed through a lifetime of involvement in the cannabis culture. They're committed to providing the highest quality products at whatever value your budget affords, while always maintaining the deep-rooted principles that have carried them this far. Their focus is on relationships over transactions, and you can always depend on them to treat you with the respect you deserve. Hit them up at thetreehouseak.com, and remember, you must be 21 years of age to enter their store.
Total Truck and Alaska Overlander, Alaska's premier supplier for custom automotive accessories and overlanding products, providing all-inclusive rental vehicles and trailers custom outfitted to explore the Alaskan backcountry with a unique and convenient traveling experience. At Total Truck, you can find brands such as ARE, RSI Smart Caps, Goose Gear, iCamper, Front Runner, Rigid Lights, Rhino Linings bed liners, and everything you need to outfit your truck or SUV. Alaska Overlander provides 4x4 vehicles and expedition trailers custom modified for Alaskan adventures and outfitted with rooftop tents, fridges, and all the camping and cooking gear you need to start exploring. Visit them at alaskaoverlander.com.
I missed this on the opener, so I'm going to do it now.
It's never too late, man. You have like 3 hours.
I'm good.
You have like 3 hours to do, get this shit together. Do you guys got your meat party meal kind of ready, or you guys stumped, or you guys got something planned? I mean, I do.
Yeah, I am super dialed.
Oh,
Yeah, and the only thing is, I wanted to have like a gluten free and not gluten free option, and so
it's appropriate.
I'm not like a master baker, so
Are you doing a quiche or some shit?
it's gonna be
Ooh,
good.
surprise. I got a really good one for
It has
you
to be a
guys.
surprise. I
I
wasn't
had,
asking you to tell me what it
But
is.
Katie from Concoctions Bread invented like a gluten-free addition, so I can use hers. So I have a test at the house now. So
I'll just tell you guys, I'm doing empanadas with my mom.
Ooh, nice.
Okay.
With your mom?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah.
I've been waiting forever.
So actually, you know what I want to do? Because I only have caribou and moose. If someone has something else. Oh, you know what?
I have
Actually,
deer.
you have some deer. Actually, Tyler's going to give me some access deer.
Ooh.
I want to do some
I
with.
got some mammoth. What are you talking
Oh,
about?
got
some mammoth? Yeah, let's do
Damn,
that.
you already
Let's
went
do
after
that.
one of those things?
Let's do that.
I already punched my tail.
Jerry, this is going to be your
CRISPR
first meat party.
Yeah,
I sent you the flyer, right?
Yeah, when is it? What was the date?
It's the
'Cause
25th.
The 25th of April,
March.
March.
Yeah, tell one of your boys shift trade.
Oh,
Shift
I'm gonna
trade.
be-
Oh, yeah, that's right. You told me.
I'll be out. Yeah, I'll be out hunting.
Ooh, what are you
Yeah.
going
Oh,
So
okay.
last
Divulge, Jerry. Divulge.
yeah, so not this draw release, but last February I drew the farewell bison tag.
for? Oh,
for spring.
sweet.
So
Yeah.
I'll be out there for 10 days, March the 20th through the 30th.
Hell
Oh,
yeah.
man.
That is so cool, bro.
I am
You going
excited.
snow
for you.
machine or cub or what are you doing?
So we're gonna fly out there, and then my buddy that I'm going with has kind of got a connect out there with a guy who's got a like a trapper's cabin.
Oh, okay.
Snow machines are already there,
Sweet.
so it's like we just
Plug and play.
plug and play. I mean, it sounds easy, but it's, like when you get out there, it's going to be like Bush, Alaska.
Yeah.
It's, got to do all the work, get the cabin prepped, get the chainsaw going, get all the firewood cut, get everything, check the snow machines, make sure they're running, and get everything set up. And so it'll probably be a full day of just that, and then getting settled in, and then hop on the sleds, take the Arctic oven, and go start cruising.
Man, that sounds awesome.
Is that amazing or what?
That sounds so awesome. Did you hear the episode with David Brophy?
I didn't get to catch all of it. I was kind of in between on some work stuff, so I only got like the first hour.
Okay. Yeah, he goes into it towards the end there. That was a really good story. That's a whole different cool way for that hunt. Yeah, but I want to do it that way, the way you're going to do it, if I ever draw it. Yeah. Or if anyone I know ever draws it, invites me.
And it's like, I'm not sure about the Delta, but I know with Farewell, it's once every 10 years.
Yeah.
I just need it once.
Yeah,
So
one
it's-
time.
Yeah, once. Just
Yeah, man.
But
I don't even need it. I just need someone else I'm with to draw it. Just to so
I just
go.
need to go.
when
I don't need to pull the trigger, man. I just want to come.
the odds of drawing anything anymore have
Yeah.
gone down so much, and even in the last 10 years.
Big
Shit,
time.
I got 3 this year.
You got 3?
Fuck no,
No.
I'm kidding, man. I ain't getting nothing.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I think all of us have been putting in for those bison tags since we were 10. So for like 30 plus years, our inner groups have never drawn it.
It's funny because this was not a first choice hunt for me, and I was like, because I'll dump in on everything because I figured I'll get something if I put $200 into the roll, something will come out. And I was like,
200. That's just the top. Bro.
that's just
You don't put that full.
He doesn't
5.
have kids and a wife.
You don't.
Yeah.
You don't go 700 deep. What are you talking about?
not married, no kids, so it's just me. And I was like, I've never
You're
put
getting
in,
off easy.
never put in for the farewell bison. I'm going to put in for it.
What?
Yeah. So I was like, I'm going to put $15 on that.
Just
And
fell
then-
ass
Just one?
backwards into it.
And,
You just did one of them?
And yeah, I got it.
That's fucking awesome.
That's perfect.
That's amazing.
Oh, man.
That's some good luck, Jerry.
Yeah.
Well, he
dude.
came in
You want a
tonight.
team permit next year?
Hey, you want a party draw? He came in and mentioned that. Now, as I asked me if he listened to the show, and he listened to David's show, and it's like, yeah. And by the way, I got the farewell permit. I was like, my ears perked up. I'm like, what? You did what? And I was curious if he got the fall, and he's going out to do the winter one. Man, it's badass.
Yeah, I was debating, if I wanted to do the fall or the winter hunt, and I was kind of thinking, as far as like the logistics and getting around, and I'd never done a winter hunt. And I was like, well, we just fly out there and you know,
It's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
When you do the winter style.
Totally.
I like that. Yeah, I like that winter style. Are you gonna bring the cameras?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you
Yeah.
got to.
Even the opportunity just to go out there and see those bison, and even if I just photograph them as a wildlife photographer, and if I didn't kill one, I wouldn't be sad because I would hope to at least see some to photograph. But I'm planning on, trying to make this like my first actual sort of video experience. So I'm gonna try to film it. I've got some ideas for some time lapse photography that I want to do, and then video, photos. So it's just a matter of kind of like coming up with a plan of how I want to execute it all, and then,
then get there and it all goes to shit.
Get there and it all goes to shit, just like any
Plan B.
Any Alaska, any fly out that you ever do, you got Plan A, and it's bullshit as soon as you get there.
That doesn't look like it did on Google Earth.
Yeah.
Doesn't Plan A end up being the Plan B?
Yeah.
So you're planning for bullshit, and so Plan A happens. You're like, oh, that'll never happen again. Went so good.
So you gonna sling lead or arrows? Or?
I'm gonna take a rifle. Yeah, I figured an opportunity like this I could put in for the rest of my life and not draw it, and then it's an every 10-year only draw as it is. So I'm like I don't want to risk trying to I could see where with the stock and everything you could get on them a little easier in the fall. Yeah, but in in the wintertime when they're all together and there's not much cover and the snow's crunchy. Yeah. It could be pretty tough.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's going to be
hopefully you have the meat for next year's.
Yeah.
Party.
Mm-hmm. Or do you get it early and then we're eating fresh backstrap?
There you go.
That's a possibility.
Yeah. That's what we're going to hope for.
Yeah, because if it if it like the day after we get there and I get one and then we're out in like 3 days, turn around on that, I'll be there.
Oh, I was just thinking about that bison tenderloin that was fresh that we smoked on the trigger and ate. That was that episode 1?
2. 1?
I think it was episode...
First one with the guest.
Yeah, first one with the guest. Episode
2.
With Jake.
Yeah.
2 with Jake.
Yeah.
That was good.
It was so fun.
Bison, I mean, I've said this 100 times on the show. It's my favorite.
Yeah, man.
Mine too.
Yeah.
I mean, there's something about what they eat and how it...
Well, David's going to bring some bison to the party.
So I haven't eaten any of the wild bison from here in Alaska. Like I've had the what they say is free range bison from Montana or whatever. You go to Fred Meyer and you buy it when they have it, and it's good. But I can't compare like bison to moose or bison to sheep or
It's so clean and not gamey.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's like
it tastes like
just
a
clean,
little,
man.
It's lean, but it like tastes fattier than moose, if that makes sense. Like
I agree.
So like is it more closer to beef than moose?
Yes.
Yeah. Much more neutral in its flavor.
Yeah, definitely closer to beef than moose.
Yeah, it's not as dry on your tongue, on your palate.
Yeah, texture's good. It's just like the least gamiest.
It seemed like it soaked up the salt and the flavor.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it did.
Like sometimes some of that stuff doesn't penetrate all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it just seemed like it absorbed that flavor.
Yeah, moose meat just like gets on top.
Yeah. So if you get like an inner piece, you don't really get any of the whatever you put on there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It just tastes like a bloody nose sometimes.
Oh, that's the worst. Did you draw anything this year?
Nothing.
Good.
Yeah.
You're done.
Screw you, man. You're 20 years. You're going on a 20-year drought now.
Yeah, a buddy of mine drew one of the Chugach archery tags, so we're gonna we'll be doing that. So I'll still be, it's not my hunt, but
Are you talking about Billy?
For sheep.
Yeah. Billy, Elite Billy?
He's this is a different another. Yeah,
so you're telling me 2 Billies drew a Chugach sheep?
No, this is a John.
Oh, okay. So what are the chances?
But
Billy,
he drew that?
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't think he even knew exactly what he...
Archery or what?
Yeah.
Wow.
Chad was hella salty about it.
I bet.
Oh, it's awesome. That he's
good for him. We're probably going to go with Chad anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Chad's going to put him on it.
Man, I'm excited for your bison hunt, man.
So hold on, you get to do the bison and then go do a Chugach ram?
And go to a Chugach sheep hunt, help a buddy out with that. And I've been applying for that hunt like ever since I got my archery certification. So I was like 10 years, like every year, like I'll just dump them all in there because that's what I want. And, you know, I just never got it. And I know people who have got it like every other year back to back. And I'm like, who do you know at Fish and Game? Who do you
Yeah. What's your buddy's name?
Yeah.
Yeah, some guy told me, he's like, oh, go ahead.
Well, go for it.
Oh, I was just saying, at a salty acquaintance of mine, I know a guy, Fish and Game got 4 tags. And I'm like, if you look at you can pull up the PDF.
Yeah.
And I think like one guy in the state got 3 or something. Or a couple of people got 3.
There was that one that we're on the feed with. The guy got like 6.
And Wes's wife got 2.
Oh, she did?
She got the elk and she got a goat.
Oh, yeah, she got the goat. Mm-hmm. But we're on the feed with someone who got like 6 tags.
On that report, no one got 6 tags.
No, this was last year, I think. This year's feed.
Yeah, it was this year's feed. I'll look it up while we're.
We looked it up. I got a screenshot of it, and no one got 6. People got 3. No one got more than 3. I'll double check it.
Can we triple check it?
Triple check. Triple check it. Yeah. Anyway, so what area are you putting in for?
It's the It's DS 141. So that's kind of all around Eklutna Lake there.
Yeah. And that one starts in September.
I think it's the whole month of September.
Yeah. Okay.
Is that
some nice rams up there, man?
There is some nice rams. I know where they are because I've spent a lot of time in there.
Yeah, me too. I've seen them. Well, I've seen them from the lake, but they look like hosses.
Yeah, I've been on that. So two other times on 2 other occasions, tag holders that I knew that were buddies that I helped out, and so I kind of got it dialed in. I just got to get the tag.
Yeah.
Did you get some photos?
I get a few photos, here and there, and but nothing. I mean, like when we were doing that, it was kind of like
the mission at hand.
The mission at hand, yeah. So it's you look at all that photo gear, and you're like, man, I mean,
that's tough.
6 or 7 pounds of photo gear, or do I want to just offload that? I'll just use my phone this trip, and then. So you just got to make a hard decision on that.
Please tell me you're going to take some gear on this sheep hunt.
Yeah, definitely.
Man,
I'm gonna film it, so it's gonna be all in.
Good for you. We can't wait to see it.
I just
need
some.
I'm in the film game.
I'm gonna need somebody to.
You're gonna do a great job
to edit it and put it together because the computer that I have right now will not handle the processor. It won't handle all the apps and everything that you need to edit that and put it together.
Yeah.
I know a guy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We bonded this trip on this hockey trip. We haven't gotten into that yet, Daniel, but I have a guy.
Okay.
You got a guy? All right.
I think he might be free a little bit at first, and then we might have to start shelling out some cash, but Adobe.
Yeah, Premiere.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He says he's a full geek.
That's what you need.
Yeah,
that's what you need.
Someone
that knows what all those million buttons means.
Yeah. Seriously, when you get there, reach out to me and we'll hook up with Bill and he said he's down to help and get involved and everything. So,
what other hunts you got planned?
And that's pretty much it. The bison hunt, and then I've got my own sheep hunt planned out.
Nice.
That's going to kill all the free money I have to go hunting. Is the flights. That's going to be it because this hunt's going to be expensive. It's it'll be a trip going out and then probably 2 trips coming back. I mean, if we get a real big bison, so
yeah,
it's a lot of money. It'll be over $5,000 just in the flights.
It'll be worth every penny. Man.
It'll be worth every penny though.
Yeah. I'm curious on what kind of backpack and stuff you're using, what kind of gear you use for sheep hunting.
For sheep hunting?
Yeah.
Probably, mostly it's probably similar to what you guys are using. I've got a couple of different packs that I run. I've got an Exo mountain gear.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've got a Stone Glacier, and I kind of go back and forth, kind of depending on what kind of hunt it's going to be, and if I want to carry, if I want to shave a pound or 2 off the pack and put a little bit more gear or a little bit more food, or it seems like if I'm focused on more with the photos and the hunting, then I'll carry the Exo, just because I like the way that it's the layout and the design with the pockets. the stone glaciers are great packs, but the pocket designs are pretty basic, because you got your main compartment, there's the top lid, maybe another pouch, and that's kind of it.
You're done.
I've been looking at those Exos. I like to get one that's like a 5-dayer, like one of their smaller ones.
Well, they're going to be at the they may not be in person at the sheep banquet, but they're going to have some packs.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Okay, great. That's been my only thing. I like to get my hands on it and
Yeah.
look at it and touch it. And
Yeah, they're really impressive, so you'll definitely check them out.
Those are really kind of gaining traction.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
all I've heard is good things about them.
Yeah, was it Gary Weaver that was in here talking about those?
Yes,
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, I'm pretty
it
sure.
was Gary. Yeah. What about sleeping bag?
Synthetic for, all the fall sheep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know a lot of guys are running down, but it's going to get wet eventually at some point. It's from condensation, or if you got a bivvy out and it gets wet that way, or and then you get into a down bag, and if your clothes are soaking wet, it's gonna you'll dry out eventually, but then the down's gonna be wet.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you going to do kind of with that? You got to figure out a way to dry your bag out. Hope the weather's nice. And, I wouldn't be the first person that took a down bag and spread it out on a sunny day so it would dry out.
Yeah.
So I've just run synthetics and all fall. In the winter hunts or any kind of winter camping or cold weather, I'll run the down for that, just because it's not as much of a concern, to get it wet. But you get into a synthetic bag, your clothes are wet. You wake up and you're mostly dry.
Yeah. Yeah, you do got to be ultra careful with that down bags.
Yeah, you're like ridiculous about it though.
Well, because I've been through the bad situation.
It only takes once. Like if you
open
get
that door and let
miserable-
water, and he's like, pulls his feet all up.
Scrunch up like a little. Don't get my bag wet.
No.
Well, because I woke up one time and the whole teepee door's open. The whole bottom of my bag is done, and it's like
I'm good.
38 degrees.
Oh, yeah.
What were you saying,
not
Jerry, earlier about it?
with the bags.
Yeah.
Yeah, it only takes once to
Just ruin the whole
to
trip.
ruin the whole trip. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're going to be sucking the entire time. You're going to be hating life.
You guys ever got in your bag just fully geared, minus boots? Just
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
I have too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Not no down bag.
Yeah.
Full
You went in
synthetic.
with the boots one time, didn't you?
No, I peeled my boots off. I
Okay.
almost did.
Okay. I
was-
said
I was-
someone
I
went in
was
with the boots
so-
one time.
I was almost full panic and I just wanted to get in there. Remember how fast I fell asleep, dude? I was in there, I was just like,
Yeah, I mean, like I take the boots off, and
full
there
hypothermic.
a few occasions where I stripped off the boots and the rain shell, and then whatever I was wearing, I was like, whatever, just get in the bag and try to get warm.
I wore my rain gear.
Yeah.
Went straight in.
Yeah,
And
I
the
guess it
wiggies,
would-
though.
It would
He
dry
packs
out.
the wiggies,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
you could
the
do that
wiggies.
with
Yeah.
the wiggies.
I've definitely never gone in with boots or rain gear.
Boots, no. Be kind of a pain in the ass to like get in a bag with your mountain boots on.
I like to sleep with
tangling up.
nothing. Just just boxers.
Yeah.
But I hate the morning when everything's like frozen
Sticky.
and getting
Oh,
everything back
getting
on.
out, yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
I
that's
sleep
the worst.
fully clothed.
Yeah. No, I sleep in boxers.
Yeah, I wear like, I'm just ready to get out and go hunting right away.
That is the way to do it then, where be dressed. I
We've
just
been
get
in many
too hot.
situations like that
Yeah.
with you, or I've been where
Yeah.
you wake up and you're like, shit, there's a fucking ram right there. And
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to take
Yeah.
a
You
piss
gotta-
and one's looking at you.
And you got to
Yeah.
put all your clothes on.
Yeah.
yeah, just be ready.
Contacts. Ooh, I can't
Yeah.
see.
The contact thing sucks.
Well,
That's the
I've
worst.
heard about guys. There's one actual verified incident where a buddy of mine's hunting partner, one year they were up in the Brooks, and he, got up, got his jet boil going. He's telling me about the story. Gets coffee. He's just like sitting in his sleeping bag. He's all cozy and warm. He's like, oh, I'm just gonna open up the fly a little bit and see what the weather's doing, and shot a ram from his sleeping bag.
Oh yeah.
So they're just chewing cud, looking at
that
it.
was like us 2 years ago. If it was a half inch bigger, it was a dead ram from the tent.
Yeah.
Yep, he just wandered right there.
we did full panic mode, just
Scrambling.
It was scrambling
Slow
because
down.
it was we couldn't see how big he was, and we had to get everything set up. So
And we both-
It's
like
hard
he
not
was
to
that
do
close.
It's
you know,
hard not to do that because you're not thinking ever
yeah,
that it's going to be outside of the tent.
yeah,
Well, you have to though.
yeah, you have
No,
to.
Especially if you're in the
well-
zone.
Yeah, you have to.
Well, no, you now that you've experienced
Yes.
it, now
Yeah.
you're ready and you have
Yes.
this, memory of like, okay, hey,
Yeah.
We
know?
knew better than that. I think it had to do with like being in the. We had went to sleep in the fog, and so I think like we just like got up thinking it was like foggy. So
Yeah. We went to
Like,
bed
it
in
was
a
thick
torrential downpour.
yeah,
And fog.
yeah, your like mind shuts it down.
yeah. So
Like hunting is like I'm good. I'm not too worried about hunting. I'm just going to sleep,
Yeah.
get comfortable, get dry.
Yeah, but hot tip though. Slowly open the zipper.
Yeah,
How
that's right.
often though does like shit like that happen on just hunts in general?
I mean,
when
we
you
just
get
talked
caught
about
with- when you get
four
caught with your
situations
pants-
just right here, 4 of us.
You get caught with your pants down. I mean, I'm talking moose,
yeah.
bears. Like if you're hunting something and like, you let your guard down one fucking
I
second.
mean, I've done it on moose. It's never happened on sheep, but moose and caribou both. I mean, there was two seasons ago. I was calling at the spot for moose, and I was there all evening, and I was like, man, there's nothing. There's nothing. This
Spare
is
sits in. You're like,
this
fuck
is,
it. I
this
give
is
up.
crap.
Yeah.
I was like, that's exactly what I thought. This is bullshit. I'm gonna go hike, 6 miles down the hill, go to another spot. Picked up my rifle, backpack, got everything on, strapped it up.
Talking to yourself all loud.
I was talking to myself,
Fuck
and then like 90 yards on the rangefinder, there was a spike fork looking right at me, and I was like, "That's what I need right there."
Yeah,
And everything was packed up. I was like, "Well, what am I gonna do?"
it's nice to see you.
Yeah. He watched me. I watched him for like a minute, and I was like, "Should I move? Should I get my gun? If I move, is he gonna run?" And yeah, he ended up getting away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how it works, man. When you least expect it, or you gave up. That's why when the sun comes up to the sun goes down, you have to be ready.
Yeah, because I mean,
It's hard to do, but you got to do that.
the opportunity could come at any time, and you don't know when it's going to happen. It's like with I look at the wildlife photography like I do with hunting. But you're not killing with your camera, but you're going for the trophy shot, and you could spend a lot of time, and if you kind of get lackadaisical and you're like, well, just go for another hike and if you put it in your head that you're not going to see anything and you expect that, then that's normally when those crazy things happen, and you're like, oh man, I wish I had that ready, or the gun was ready, or the camera was ready, and then you miss it and it's gone, and you don't see it again.
Yeah, that's why you have to, in my opinion, you have to respect your window of opportunity on a fishing trip or a hunt. Same way. You slot 1 day in, 3 days in, 10 days in. It could happen the first morning at daybreak. You kill your moose, catch your big fish, whatever. Or it could be in the last 2 minutes of daylight on your last day. Like, never give up on the hunt until you have to go home. This is the most important thing. It's so hard to do, isn't it?
Yeah. No, stay present.
It's a mental game.
Yeah.
You have to be just as ready and prepared all the way to the very last second of it, because your window, that's your window, and you never know when it's going to give you an opportunity.
Yeah.
Easy to say.
But I mean,
Hard. It's
smash your brain with that every single minute of the day when you want to give up. Because it's so easy to do when you don't see anything and it's raining and it's like,
yeah.
shit ain't going to happen. And then the spike fork pops up at 8:02 and it goes. The sun went down at 7:51, and you have like 2 seconds to get your rifle out and shoot his ass. But is it like the greatest thing ever when you get him down? And then all that time and despair and, negative thoughts going through your mind, like, this shit ain't going to happen. It's just like, gone, got him down. We got a moose, caribou, sheep. Big King, whatever. It goes away that fast.
One more cast.
One more cast. Yeah, one more cast.
If you've experienced it enough,
yep, one more cast.
Turns
into 10.
You can usually turn your mind around to know that there's still a chance.
Yeah.
You know?
Is sheep your favorite animal to shoot?
It probably is. You know, it didn't start off being. It started off as being moose, and
pull up his Instagram, and some of your moose shots are amazing.
Are we looking at the hunter or photography?
Probably still the photography on there. Yeah.
Oh, and also for people listening, it's Jerry Herrod Photo Alaska is the Instagram, and the other Instagram is Jerry Herrod Hunt Alaska. And Herrod, am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Herrod, 2 R's on Herrod.
You going with like a reel or a photo?
It looked like
there's a photo. Man, the Wolverine shots
What
are
the
awesome
hell,
too.
dude. No
that one's
way.
red.
Look at that.
Man, no one ever gets to
came
see
and got some of
Wolverine.
your sheep.
So that's one that. So this was actually from a pair of Wolverines. It was a male and a female. That's the female, and
Looks young too.
they had killed a sheep.
Oh,
And
really?
They were like tearing it apart and running away with pieces of it.
Wow. This is where Campbell Creek?
Yeah, Campbell Creek.
Upper
what
Huff,
a
baby.
great
Upper
shot.
Huff.
Well, look at that shot. I mean, it looks like you're right there. How far away
That's
are you
epic.
from that?
That's one that, right spot, right time. Wolverine came running, and it seems like they're always running. If you see them out and if there's no like food source or a kill, it seems like they're always running.
You're right.
Yeah.
You know, and this was an instance of just running like it. I was watching something else, and I already had my camera out, so I was just kind of sitting there, and then I heard something like on the rocks, and I look over, and I was like, my camera in hand, ready to shoot, and I just raised it up to my eye and blasted off some shots as it ran by.
Wow.
And so it's like,
Oh, so it's running right there.
it's running right there. So probably like 20, 25 yards.
Wow.
Very, very small window to even get that image.
Oh, yeah.
It didn't carry you there.
It did. That particular one did, because it came around, and it probably didn't smell me, so it was just cruising, and it saw me and was like,
Darted.
Just
outta
jetted
here.
off.
It's like a mini bear,
Perpendicular.
man.
Yeah.
That thing's like a mini bear.
So it looked like a lot
There
of
was
your-
one moose shot I wanted you to pull. It was like
okay.
it's like breathing or something. You have like you caught it when it was like had its breath and it's like foggy. Scroll down. See if you know which one I'm talking about, Jared?
I've got a couple that were like that.
It's like breathing out.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah. Keep going down a little bit. I think that was it up there.
This guy?
No.
That is awesome. Look at
That
the
is
antlers
awesome.
on that thing.
Oh yeah.
That's an old bull right there.
Look at its right side there.
Left side.
Left side.
Our right side.
It's like an elk.
Yeah. It does. That's like staggish.
That's a depiction of an old bull.
So a lot of your moose shots are you up in Glen Alps there?
Yeah, most of those come from Glen Alps, just because it's kind of hard
It's a paradise.
not to get up there when they're, when the
Yeah.
rut's not just kind of the rut, but kind of any time you can, if you're willing to do some hiking, you can kind of get into some stuff. But
Yeah.
I'm just
Most
trying
of
to find that one you were looking for, Daniel.
most of the time, the big stuff happens, during the rut.
This year, did you notice how a lot of the rut was happening in the forest up there versus in the flats like normal?
I was kind of seeing some of that. I didn't really spend too much on the rut this year doing any photography, but the people that I talked to, there was quite a bit of it was in the black spruce there.
Yeah.
Maybe the other page.
There was a pair of big moose that got locked up and died up there.
Yep. That's a famous one there.
Yeah, I've got a photo of that bull on there, but he's not from this year, but from previous years.
Right.
Open up that one. Sorry, Jack. Open up that one that he's like looks like he's calling.
Oh,
Pull up
with
a
his
little
mouth
bit.
open?
Yeah.
Did anyone have a theory of why they were in the timber this year?
The other one in the middle.
Oh, not that one?
I don't think so.
That's a close
Yeah.
in the middle.
Oh, this guy here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw
think
the
he's
same
just adjusting.
sort of thing up at our moose camp.
Oh,
And then, I saw it up here hiking, and then a couple of other photographers I'm friends with were saying the same thing, and it was like, talking to pilots, they saw similar things.
So kind of statewide.
Yeah, and I don't know if it was like temperature or what, but you know, or you know, it was so wet.
Say again, Jack. What was going on?
A lot of so the Glen Alps rut is like famous for photography, right? Like the bulls come up above tree line in the alpine, and they're like I guess they're right at tree line. And
Like
this
flat
year
top,
they were,
like right around the-
and this year they're deeper into the forest, into the black spruce,
Like lower.
Yes, and in the forest fighting, and then you know, I saw similar things like up here about so did like Freshie, you know, who is a photographer, works with us, and then you know at Moose Camp we saw a similar thing, and then talking to Jake and a few other pilots, they saw some similar things. So I was just wondering if anyone had a theory why, you know, the moose weren't in the same spot rutting.
It was warm. I thought.
That's your theory?
No, I mean, one thing I noticed more than any other year, it was very warm. I mean, we went early, and we're up in the interior, but something was different this year. We didn't see a lot of moose, but it was warm, and there was just nothing going on.
I think people have been spilling that athletic greens.
Oh shit!
The elevated oats down in the trees, lure them in.
Yeah, I mean, every year is so weird. You know, it always changes and whatnot. But
it seems like it really doesn't. You know, it's kind of depending on where your region is. You know, it does revolve around the weather. You know, I've noticed like out, you know, locally and out in the valley, it's when those nights come when you first start to get those real hard frosts.
Yeah,
that's when it really starts to kick it off.
Yeah.
Agreed.
That's a beautiful picture. Broaden that links up. B, can you open that wide?
Yeah.
Man, that's beautiful.
Was he looking at you, Jerry?
Yeah. I've just got a handful of link shots. It's kind of one of those that have always been really elusive, at least for me. You know, you just you either got to find a food source where there's a lot of, you know, hares and grouse and stuff like that, or just get lucky, you know, when they're around.
Yeah. Do you have a preferred season?
Oh, what a beauty.
You know, probably fall is like my most favorite time of any, just because it's kind of, you know, you get that classic Alaska, everything is like, it's all the colors are the biggest and the brightest that they're going to be
the autumn
of the year.
Yeah.
You know, all the fire on the tundra, and the trees are yellow, and the moose are rutting, and you know the sheep are getting fat, and everything is like, you know, they're in the most prime shape that they're going to be all year. And
right before winter.
Right before winter. And so you're going to get...
There's no bugs.
And there's no bugs. So you're probably going to get the best images of the year in the fall.
Yeah. God,
what about like light-wise? Like early morning, cloudy days? Is there a specific preference? Or I know for photographers, there's certain types of light that...
Yeah, a lot of photographers talk about, you know, like it is ideal to have, like, they call it the golden hour, you know, that little bit in the morning when the sun's first coming up, and that little bit in the evening right before it goes down. You know, but it's hard to hit that light and be in just the right spot, because you have to know in relation to where the sun is rising or where the sun is setting, and where you're going to be and where you hope the animal is going to be. And for all of that to, you know, all those factors come together into one is pretty tough. I prefer to shoot in like overcast, because the light's flat and even, so it doesn't matter really what direction that you're shooting. You know that you're going to get the composition that you want, and you know you're not going to have
a neutral playing field.
It's a neutral playing field, so you're not going to have the most amazing light necessarily, but you could get some really cool stuff because you can maximize your time. You're not waiting for like, oh, you know, it's noon and it's August 10th and it's clear and sunny and it's like, man, you know,
everything's bedded down.
You're waiting for that. Yeah. So you get those cloudy days where things move a little more, the light's even, it's easy to get, it's easy to get the shots that you want without having to wait for angles of the sun. And
even if you're not specifically waiting for that ram or that moose or that goat, you can catch a random hare or a owl or something that's
you got any good
or an eagle or something cool.
Mosquito shots.
That's
Guess what?
that would probably be like the hardest shot to get.
I bet. Is there a guy out there that's his thing?
There's people if you look up like macro insects, there's people that are into that. That's their thing, is like you know, like micro photos of bugs. And
That's pretty rad though.
Yeah, it is. I've always been kind of enamored by dragonflies.
Yeah, man, badass.
They're beautiful, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
They're like fucking choppers.
They're getting
Hear
the
them coming
business.
in, and they ain't hurting nobody.
Yep.
And
they're
you know
aggressive
what?
though. I mean, they've got some fangs.
Oh, will they bite you?
I don't think I've never been bitten by one, but I've seen them when they've like, grabbed a stickleback or something. And
Oh yeah.
Pull that up right close up.
And you know what else? You know what else is pretty amazing about those things? Is the way they just bang it out in full flight.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, man, you guys are impressive.
Yeah,
You never banged it out in full flight?
I mean, I'm not part of the
5 foot high club.
or what is it?
Dragonfly close up. I want to see.
No, I know. We were talking about banging on an airplane. How do you even do that? The fucking bathrooms are way too small.
Bathroom.
You bring your blankets
Dragonfly
and you just
macro,
go in it. You forward it off.
Macro photography. There it is.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
This is rad.
Oh, we can go full geek on this.
Man.
Look at that fangs. Look at the one in the middle with that one.
Which one are we looking at?
Down in the middle. Green.
this
and blue.
guy?
Oh yeah, there you go.
Oh shit! You ain't kidding about that.
They're getting it after the mosquitoes and stuff though.
They don't bite people though. I mean, I'm not saying they don't. I'm saying I don't.
Yeah, I've never heard of it. But
Look at
they're
him, man.
eating a bunch of
He's got a
mosquitoes.
mean ass mustache and beard too. Yeah, I bet he gets laid a lot.
On the go.
Good fight.
Look at the red-eyed one. That's crazy.
This guy here,
Yeah.
damn, his eyes look like butt cheek or tits. Right?
It's a
I love
female.
how they have
Yeah.
that like texture on their eyeballs.
Yeah,
So cool.
can see a lot of different angles with that. You ever gotten any cool like bug shots or anything kind of weird?
No, nothing with bugs. I mean,
All right.
it's a whole other specialty, and like it's a whole like you've got like really big lenses and zoom lenses for wildlife, and then if you're gonna do like the micro stuff, then that's a whole other. There's specific lenses made just
18
for,
pounds of equipment you got to
Yeah.
haul around.
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes inwards.
How about fish?
Good question.
He had
man.
some fish
I was-
ones. He had some fish photography on his
did he?
page. I thought I saw.
Oh yeah, I did see like a pink.
Oh, real quick, I the ptarmigan, another critter I'm enamored with. I love these things. I'll go back to the fish. I just thought I wanted to share that. That's
Yeah, it's a great one.
so beautiful, man. Those things are so cool.
So tasty.
So tasty. Fish. Are they up higher?
Is that something you like to do, Jerry, or that's kind of you like
Oh,
to
this one here.
stick to land critters most
Some
of the time?
humpies.
I try to mostly stick to the land stuff. Like I mean, as much as I do photography, I also do a lot of fishing.
Yeah.
Almost as much as I hunt, and I don't know why. I've rarely photographed it.
Yeah.
And all the the amazing.
Is that because you're on a mission?
I'm mainly on a mission. When I
Yeah.
go fishing, like it's like
Gotta get
No time for that bullshit.
right.
You
Yeah.
want to catch your fish and
Yeah. Then you got to get it back and release it back into the water.
yeah, yeah. And then if you're by yourself, it's hard to.
Oh, the solo fish shot is
Yeah.
That's a tough
very
one,
hard.
man.
You need a
got
really
this
long
giant
selfie
fish.
stick for that.
Well, you
I
gotta
was
have the
curious because
pot.
I know you said you were in the magazine. Has your stuff been used for any other articles or any other publications?
Nothing really like super crazy. Alaska State Parks has used a few things. I got a couple of shots in one of the Alaska magazines, but nothing like front and center, no cover stuff or anything like that. So it's kind of, it's a lot of it is just a matter of getting it out there and getting it known and
entering contests and stuff like that.
Yeah.
On those other publications, like the sheep one, did you send that in to them, or did someone reach out to you?
So there was a guy that I knew there that he runs their media, and I had heard that they kind of had an idea on maybe doing, because most of their stuff is like bighorn sheep. Because that's more prevalent down south where they're based out of. It's bighorns, desert bighorns, Rocky Mountains. And I was like, as much as they do that, I bet this thing would I bet they'd get a kick out of this.
Yeah.
And so I sent it to him, and I think he said that it was the president of the National Wild Sheep was like, we're putting that on the cover.
Oh,
because it's, like he said, it was the best shot of a doll sheep that he had seen.
Yeah, I agree.
And then did they fly you down?
They didn't, but that's all right. I mean, they did give me, I got like a ticket to go to the expo every day at the sheep show.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. That was, it's something, because I don't know if it's like $100 a day to go to that or something like that.
Yeah. Right on. I mean, just to say that you were on it.
But but to get the publicity out of it, I mean, that's
plenty.
Yeah, it's plenty.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to, because how could you buy, that kind of publicity and get your name out there and to like a national convention where, thousands of people are looking at your images and checking it out. And
what's your thoughts on like phone photography versus like camera photography? But let me preface this because I won a photo contest once and I kind of felt bad.
Yeah.
Because I like took it on my phone and there's like, I saw these other people that had these amazing shots. I was like, how did mine win? Like my iPhone 12 or whatever it was. And all these dudes are doing like amazing stuff with their things. So I'm curious on like how you feel. Like, does it bother you?
It doesn't, because there's a saying, the best camera is the one that you have at the time. So
okay,
if your phone is all you got and like the most amazing shit's going down, you're like, if I don't photograph this right now, like the world is going to miss out on something great.
Yeah.
And if it's with your phone, then it's not necessarily like has to be composed. Like you don't have to have an eye for it. Sometimes you just randomly get something.
Yeah.
But if all you have is your phone, you're like, man, that's really cool. I want to photograph that. You can get it.
Yeah.
As good as the cameras are in the phones now, the only issue is the sensor size in your phone. Because if you look at your phone and you're like, this little tiny lens, and the sensor that's behind that is not nearly the size that a sensor is in a DSLR or a modern mirrorless camera. Canon, yeah. So you're not going to get like the bigger you blow it up, you're going to lose detail and it's going to grain out. And not. I mean, in certain instances, not necessarily, because if you shot a photo and you blew it up for a billboard, and you look at it and you're driving by at 70 miles an hour on a highway and you're looking at a billboard that's 40 feet tall, you're not going to care. You're not even going to know if it's who shot that with what.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of those have been shot with a phone camera. Yeah. But if you're making something for like a higher quality, higher definition, a fine art print, if you intend to sell it or use it for media, then that's when you really start, it pays to have that serious gear.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of it is just that moment catching.
Right place, right time.
Right place, right time. Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well said. So you do take pictures with the phone?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've got thousands of photos on my phone that I'm just, you'll see something, even if it's far away and you're not going to do anything with it, you've got it for yourself to look back on. You're like, hey, that was really cool. Mm-hmm. I remember that fish, or that one time I stopped at that pull off, and like the grizzly bear randomly ran out across the road, and you know, all kinds of cool stuff happens. So I mean, so often that's really what got me into wanting to do it more seriously. Is, you know, I was being out in these wild places, and that's kind of what gets a lot of people into it. You know, because you're like, I've got this phone, and the pictures are just never as good as I remember it. And if you've got, you know, if you have the eye for it, you can get it done with your phone as long as you're close enough. But then that's kind of the issue, is there's so many cool things that are happening that you just can't get it with your phone. You need to have, you know, a big camera. You need to have a lens that can have that reach.
Yeah.
And then if you have like the artistic eye for what you're looking for in compositions, then everything, you don't even have to be, you know, a camera geek or tech on it, know how it works. Like, I don't know how half the shit on my camera works, but I know that if I dial in the settings right, and I point it at something that I like and I take a photo, it's, you know, it'll turn out okay.
I like that you said that.
I appreciate you being honest about that.
I love that you said that. There's so many. I mean, this camera right here. Like, how many times? There's so many ones. Jesus, we're just trying to record.
I mean, I've always done like time lapses. It's been so easy on the phone.
Oh yeah.
Because like with my camera, I've got one of the latest Canons. It's the R5.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a $4,000 camera body, and it'll do all the hot shit that, you know, will blow you away. But I don't know how to do half of it with that camera. Like, I know I can get good images with it doing the wildlife. I know it'll do good video. I just really figured out how to do time lapses with it. Yeah. And when we had the big Aurora show, I was trying to go out and you know, get that. And I didn't. That, man. I missed it too. It was when it was really blowing up.
It was sick.
I had heard that it was like, hey, you know, you got to get out there. And I was taking a shower, and I was like, it's freaking 10 below zero out there. I'm gonna take my time. And by the time I got out there, it was just the tail end of it, and it was gone. But I still went out and played with the camera, and you know, it's just time. And like, you can watch all the tutorials and everything, and it kind of it'll give you a leg up on how to use the equipment. But then it's actually getting out and applying what you know to the camera, you know, because it's just, I look at it as a tool. You know, if you know how to operate the tool, then you can make cool things happen.
And they make it easy. I mean, the GoPro, you just slide the time lapse and hit it, and it goes. And it's nice. Yeah. What's your thoughts on the GoPro?
You know, I bought one, and I used it like 30 minutes last fall. And I there's always something else that I have in mind when stuff's going on, you know, like if I'm going to do photos, that's all I'm thinking about, like compositions and lighting and everything. And then, you know, I know the GoPro is so easy because it's just a plug and play, and I'll probably start trying to incorporate it more now that I'm trying to get into the video.
Yeah. Oh, you definitely will.
But, you know, I was kind of thinking about different, like working with composition. There's angles that you can get with a GoPro that, you know, unless you want to risk your camera being, you know, like
wet or something,
kicked over by a moose. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've got a GoPro on a moose trail and a moose comes by and he's checking it out and starts getting closer, and then he starts to smell it and sniff it and like maybe kicks it with his hoof, steps on it, and you're like,
bumps it over.
Yeah, I only know that because I did it with a phone, and I almost lost a phone doing that.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, you don't feel as bad when you lose the $400 GoPro versus the $4,000 camera. I do like the GoPro for fishing stuff.
Yeah,
because it's so handy and it's so quick, and I can keep it like on my life vest, or and it's good for underwater and taking those shots in the water and stuff like that. And just a quick, like, because like you're mostly fishing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, you don't have time to pull out the big dog and do it all. Yeah. How's your trivia?
It's it kind of depends. Okay. You know, what are we talking?
Well, we're gonna find out here.
Like Alaskana
Alaska
history,
Alaska
trivia. A lot of things, Jerry.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna come back with a little bit of trivia from Jackie Lau here.
Tailored Restoration, 24-hour emergency home services, helping Alaskans restore their dreams since 1972. Services include fire, water, mold, post-emergency cleaning, repair, and remodeling. Tailored has an emergency response number with trained professionals available to help you at any time, day or night. Give them a call in Anchorage, Eagle River, Matsu, or Fairbanks. Make an appointment today at tailoredrestorationalaska.com.
Since 2008, Serrano's is Anchorage's own new generation of old cocina. Their menu showcases the passion and love of their rich heritage and unique family recipes that have been passed down through the generations. Serrano's goal is to embrace and display trad flavors using the best ingredients that are available. They focus on making everything from scratch daily. In-house menu includes handcrafted corn tortillas, salsas, carne asada, and chorizo. But don't take their word for it. Experience their tradition and sabor for yourself. Locations on Tudor and Northern Lights, both with new tequila bars. Check out their daily specials at serranosmexicangrill.com.
The Connoisseur Lounge, located in the heart of Palmer, Alaska. The Connoisseur Lounge is Palmer's first locally owned and operated cannabis retailer. Their beautiful store is located at 226 Evergreen Avenue. The Connoisseur Lounge has exclusive cannabis products such as Snowcap Romance, Aurora Haze, Super Glue, and one of our favorites, Sugar Cookies. And if you're not into the flower, the Connoisseur can hook you up with edibles, vape supplies, and a ton of CBD options for all your health and inflammation needs. Check out their daily deals at theconnoisseurlounge.net, or even better, stop by the lounge today. Remember, you must be 21 years of age to enter their store.
Yeah, he's been texting me throughout the show. He's like, "Hey, you guys going to the banquet?" I was like, "Is a sheep got white
Nuts.
fur?" Can you make a coin patch out of a sheep nuts?
So you're gonna do it? The coin, the pouch?
If I ever get another sheep, we'll see.
The what?
Make a coin.
Oh, the pouch? Oh, I got you guys. Oh,
Out of the
100%,
scrotum?
dude. I'm going to do it out of the next animal, dude.
This last
Then
season.
they just have big nuts, though. They have an
Next
exceptionally-
caribou, next anything. I'm just going to
Yeah, but
start.
their shit ain't as big as those guys.
No.
Well, yeah, that's not
Sheep's
true.
nuts are no, dude. There is no caribou or moose that I've ever been like filming or taking
Pull
photos
it up.
of.
Pull it up.
All
Pull
right.
it up. Let's
All
see the
right.
caribou nuts. I wanna
Caribou
see how-
nuts?
Yeah.
Oh, you want me to just? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
let's go through it and see.
Okay.
Big enough to make a little coin sack.
Caribou testicles. Testicles.
Well,
What's taking so long?
You had to go capital?
I don't know. It just switched. I probably spelled it wrong, but all right.
Bull or cow? There we go. See if there's a good shot. Let's see what kind of photography.
Here's an elk.
Yeah, decent.
Yeah, a lot of fur on there.
I kind of want to keep the fur. You know?
Oh, come on.
Do
That's a
taxidermists
cow.
do that? Do you know?
Well,
Can you make a
they'll
sack
tan
out of
it
that,
up.
like formaldehyde?
Well, this guy's got a.
Like kind of when you do like
this guy here has a condition.
Well,
So that's not.
It's just tanned. They'll tan it just like
Well, when I got
Yeah,
my
piece of
velveted
fur, right?
caribou done, I remember the guy said he like formaldehyde it or something.
that's
That-
just on the velvet.
Here's my
On the
guy
velvet?
though.
Yeah.
Here's my
Okay.
guy though.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
There you go. That's for all the $50.
you can fill that full of your Albanese gummy worms and be good to go. No, see, they have little baby nuts, dude.
No, it's not that bad.
Nah.
Well,
All right, man.
if you just brought up if you just Googled a picture of wild sheep, you'll get a photo of one will pop up with its rump facing, and you'll probably see, like, I mean, they've got like the biggest nuts of any.
They do?
telling you.
Okay, so you agree. So they do have the biggest.
Yeah, I mean, look at this guy.
Yeah.
Full swang off.
One. So during the rut, I mean, a lot of people know sheep for,
And then there's
You know,
these
the-
boys right here.
the
I mean, these
headbanging.
guys.
Yeah.
but so they kick each other during the rut, like full on like front kick,
Mm-hmm.
and they kick each other in the
What
nuts.
about these guys?
Yeah, I heard that.
What the
Yeah.
fuck's going on here? Jesus. That's an inconvenience. Oh, man. Why would you want to walk around with those? That's not even cool, dude. All right. I'm gonna get out of there. Anyway,
But, I mean, so there's people that, like, if you were talking about, like, hey, the next doll sheep that I get, I'm keeping the nut pouch because I want to get it tanned and have like a little conversation piece.
Yeah.
And like,
I want like a rawhide like thing to tie it up,
Jerry.
and seal it up.
I have a very real quick, Jack. Hold your thought. Very special request for me.
okay,
Brandon Fifield, Alaska Wild Project, from this podcast. I need the most epic image with that badass Canon camera you got.
All right.
Of just bow dangles, dude.
Just sheep nuts hanging down.
You find that guy up there, and you're like,
All right.
There's Brandon's photo. And I'll pay for it, but we got to blow it up. And I want to put it up in this motherfucker. It's got to be an ass.
A 2x3.
He's just got kicked in the nuts.
Yes.
Yeah, like he just was like, "Doosh," and his nuts were like, okay, it doesn't have to be that specific, but if you can possibly get me a nut shot.
He just had a nut cushion.
That's
he just slams and passes out because his nuts just swing over.
Maybe that's why they're so big. It's just like it's protecting the little ball on the inside.
Oh, it's like a big buffer.
Yeah, from the nut
it's
cushion.
like got a helmet around it.
Yeah.
The nut cushion, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn.
Maybe.
I could imagine my balls hurt just thinking about hitting my head that
I think
hard.
we need to add to our merchandise.
That'd actually be a really good hat.
Yeah.
That's just
What we'll do is once you get the shot, we'll get someone to
a patch on the hat of just a ram looking sideways, and it's just like, yep.
we'll get Lyle or whatever, the Stone Glacier guy who
Lyle Hebel.
Oh,
yeah.
he does that. What's
sketches,
that style
the
of?
sketches?
What is that style?
Yeah, so he does it on like I forget. I don't know what
is
he
that
uses.
style?
I think he's doing it on a tablet.
Yeah, he's like sketching it
Yeah.
out. It's a certain style that he does. I love his.
Like
I
on
love
a
his.
like on a Windows.
Yeah, actually go to his thing. He did the. He's done a lot of stuff actually for a lot of different people.
What's his name?
If you go to Instagram, he's on our Instagram.
Oh, okay.
Go to ours and just search Lyle. If you just put in LYL, I'm sure it'll pop up. But his style of, right there, Lyle Bell.
Oh,
Lyle Hebel.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so what is that? It says it on the top right there. What is that? Go back up. I thought he said it. No. Click on that though. One of his hashtags says what that style is.
illustration.
No, Illustrator. Anyway, like that. That's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
it's like freehand sketch kind of.
But just the nuts.
So the patch will have. Oh man, sick! I love
that's
this.
a good one.
It's got the horns on the
Christmas
other side.
cubby.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Stone Glacier patch on the side.
Did he do their gnome one? Scroll down. He does. That's like his style.
This is sick right here. I like that one.
Yeah, he's really, really, really good. It's a whole
that's good
different
one
talent there.
too. That's the it's a nil guy.
You know who else does that is
Sick.
the girl who did Kevin's logo.
Abby Cleek, she
Abby.
does that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's different now because she got married. But
Yeah.
yeah.
We were actually going to do a thing with her, and then she moved,
Yeah,
and then we kind of fell off.
That
We
one's
never-
pretty familiar.
we have a picture. Oh yeah, we have
Right
a
there.
really good caribou in the cidery.
Oh, she
that
did the white one?
Yeah, it's on black with chalk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, she did it in chalk?
Yeah,
Did you guys put something over that?
I sealed it up. Or
Oh, she
whatever.
sealed it somehow?
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, it looks great.
I dig this one too.
Yeah.
Yep. Cottonelle, baby.
Good job.
Cottonelle.
With the chaps and the thing.
Yeah, they're doing cool
This
stuff.
one here.
Yeah, there's been a lot of cool stuff. When I've seen two of the last
Oh, that's
guests,
the homie, dude.
Gary and what's the name, came in with the
Story too.
Hunt Mars shirts.
Hunt Mars.
You seen that?
I have not. No.
Google that, Hunt Mars.
Just in
Just
general.
put a Hunt Mars t-shirt, and it'll pop up, and it's just like a pretty much for people listening. It's a bow hunter, but he's fully in his like space suit.
Oh,
Yeah,
There's a few different designs. Go to images; it'll pop up some other ones. I know Gary came in with one, and so did David.
What about this one? Oh, man, fuck off.
Yeah, there's some cool ones. I think the Meat Eater guys did the one with the gnome carrying out the reindeer or something.
Oh, really?
Doing
Yeah.
that.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's weird how that over time.
Illegal shots there. All right, trivia time. We ready, Jack?
Yeah. Yep. No, we're ready. All right. So the last one's photography. The first two have to do with snow, since it's been pounding Anchorage.
I'm over it. Dude.
Yeah, I love it, man. Keep it coming.
I know. I always think about when it's snowing like a motherfucker and you're like looking out the window with your coffee like, yay. I'm like, this is bringing no fucking value to my life right now.
For me,
I wish I had your mentality, man.
Well,
love the
today I
snow.
was bummed that it was snowing so much just for today, because I was going to ski before I came here, and I couldn't because there's too much snow. And it's a powder day that I can't get to tomorrow. So
Oh, so you're
But
kind of resentful about it.
I just got it was beautiful outside, and serene.
Poor Jack.
But
Poor Jack.
I just don't understand. I love the snow. I
snow,
can't
too.
understand why people don't love it.
Nope.
You need to get out and do more snow sports.
Yeah, man.
No, I
Get
mean,
some on the
I
fat
would
tire
if I had
bike.
more time.
Dig a tunnel, bro.
You know,
Come on.
I mean, it's just.
When's
for
the last
my-
time you went to the cul-de-sac there and dug a tunnel?
I think it collapsed on me and almost died, so I gave up on it.
I did actually did every year at the school. We do. I don't know if I said this before. They do a thing called explorations,
Yeah.
and the kids get to choose. Like every teacher has to do like something that they're cool, and they like forced me one year to do it, and I was like, well, no one did anything outside. I was like, there's nothing outside. I was like, I know what I'll do. Tunnel digging.
Oh,
Dude, I had to turn down like 300 kids.
really?
Every kid wanted to choose, and I was like, I can't take all these kids out there. Dude. I need like 10, and I'm going to choose exactly who's going to come with me. Yeah.
Yeah. Who's
Oh,
most
that's
trustworthy?
awesome.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I just like. I don't want to bring a negative light on it.
No, it sounds like you are.
No, I mean just in general for my daily logistics and everything I got going on, and I think the main effect is work.
Yeah, it makes your work life
Yeah.
difficult.
Oh, for sure.
If I just got up and had to clean my truck off and go to a place, and I got off work and jumped on my fat tire bike or my skis,
Yeah.
or just loaded my sled on the deck and ran up to Turnagain, I'd be
Yeah.
like, "Fuck, let it snow, baby."
Yeah.
But it's such a hindrance on so many levels for my day to day life. That's why I'm resentful about it.
Yeah.
I used to love snow. Not anymore.
Bring it back. Bring the passion back.
Yeah.
I
you
mean,
got to find
I
the
do
one
love it.
outdoor thing that you
I
love.
love it when it dumps 4 feet in Petersville in the swamps with an RMK.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dump 2 feet in Anchorage on
Yeah.
a Tuesday when I've got all this bullshit going on,
Yeah.
and I got to get my snowblower out.
Yeah.
Not cool.
Yeah. I think we all deal with those stresses, and it sucks a little bit, but it's also like such a cool, like not everyone gets that, and
Yeah.
then it's just like, I don't know. I don't get to like leave work a lot to do these kind of things, but I cherish the moments that I do get to do them.
Yeah.
So like the fat tire biking, the classic cross country skiing, the skate skiing, the downhill skiing, like these are all things that you can do in Anchorage after work as a family.
Oh, true.
Or
True.
it's like your escape, like, for an hour,
Yeah.
and you can legitimately do all of them, but downhill skiing in an hour. And it's like you get out there and it's quiet and it's just a serene
It is very
environment,
quiet in the snow,
and
yeah.
you see the wildlife, and it's kind of like, oh, I can do the fucking canceling school again because of snow, or not be able to park, or like my business gets hurt really bad on snow days.
Oh,
like
no one wants to come drink a cider, do they?
Dude, no one came in until 3:30 today.
Right,
We open at noon.
right. Yeah.
And it's like that's not what life's about. Like life's
that's
not
true,
about
man.
that. Life's about like dealing with the struggles and then like enjoying when we get to do things that we love. And I think just like push it, like you got to get out. It's fucking hard, like to get out.
Yeah.
Because you're busy. You got grown kids, like kids that are like at age are busy.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
And I one of these days I feel like I'll make the choice, because it's a choice. It doesn't have to be this way. But what I do choose now is that I can't stand driving around with snow in my truck.
Yeah.
And if you pull on my fucking driveway when it's packed snow, I'm gonna smash your hood of your car with my shovel.
See,
They're most like my neighbors are just like, yep, drive on that 6 inches, drive on that 9 inches, drive on that 4 inches.
Well, you end up getting like this, like these tracks, and they end up being like 10-inch tall humps.
I call them Jerry. I call them glaciers.
Okay.
And then your beautiful wife walks out there and heels and is like, whoop.
Yeah.
God damn it. I'm like, well, you shouldn't have pulled in the fucking driveway, honey.
Yeah.
You should have let me shovel the thing first.
Yeah.
But then I'm an OCD asshole, right? At the same time. Like, I should just let it go, man.
I think there's somewhere in between. Like, you can be pretty on it and not be too messed up.
3 or less, just let it ride. That's what I say.
No. One or
No,
more.
not no more, because now I make my kids do it. So I don't pull in. I just pull in right on the front. I said, all right, boys, you know what it is.
Yeah.
You got the trailer. You got the driveway.
That's
my eye twitches.
Yeah. Before we go back to the trivia, I want to recommend another podcast that I've been listening to that is amazing because we're on the topic of like snow and north. It's about the it's Hardcore History, Dan Carlin's Hardcore History, and it is Twilight of the Aesir. I want to say AESIR. If you just go to Apple and go to Dan Carlin's Hardcore History, it's the top one that he has, and it's about the Vikings and their entire like history. It's long. It's like 5 hours long podcast. Yeah. One that you're just gonna listen.
One pod.
One pod, 5 hours.
Okay.
Amazing. I'm like 3 hours in, but it's just like just so dope.
Where does the snow come in, or does it?
The snow?
Did we just shift?
Well, we got
full
to
shift off.
Yeah, full shift off.
There's
I didn't know if there was
involved in
yeah,
the
because
podcast.
these are like the original people that are like dominating the north.
Oh, okay.
Well, no, I shouldn't say that. There's other
in Scandinavia.
There's other,
okay.
obviously native peoples of the earth that were there first. But this one is awesome. If you're into like some history stuff and cool storytelling, I cannot recommend Dan Carlin's Hardcore History.
Yeah, he's
anymore,
incredible.
dude. It's
Is he the
incredible.
guy that you have recorded on the phone when we were on the sheep hunt? And he talks about like the Nazis and then.
Oh
my God! You want to talk about letting your imagination entrench in something?
Oh yeah, he does
visualize
such a good
it?
job.
Yeah. So I like Jerry. I like to bring these kind of podcasts, and like when we're laying down in the tent or the TB at the end of the night, Jack brings comedy, which I think is really great. But this one, it's just because you just get soaked in, and then you just end up like falling so deep into the story.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
He tells the stories from like such a great perspective because I think they take like for like one episode, he'll take like 6 months with like a group of like students or something that help him do all the research. And then they like try to pull data or information from like all the different like tiers or like groups that are involved. So like in the war ones, it'll be like both sides, and then the families at home, and the people on the front line, and then the people at the top, and on both sides. And it's just like such a great way to like tell the full circle,
all the perspectives. And he'll even draw it into like nowadays. He's like, well, imagine if these guys came into, you know what I'm saying, whatever, Orlando, and they pulled in, and there's 200 Vikings, and it's just you guys, and they're in and out. Like, what are you gonna do?
Right.
And you're just like, what would I do? Nothing. You know. Anyway, I can't. If you guys are into long, crazy, amazing storytelling, Dan Carlin's Hardcore History.
If they pull into town, I'm gonna call Jerry and the Whittier boys. Come
that
shit.
Yeah,
that's
Jerry.
right.
Handle those Vikings, Jerry.
Handle
Show
some
them what's
business.
up. I bet you will.
That's right.
You got training. Viking training.
Yeah, we'll put those like. Are there any cannons out of Whittier from like World War II?
Nothing that I don't think there's anything that's even still there. Really, not like if you were to go to Seward or Kodiak, and like you can see where the gun emplacements were. Yeah.
That would have been cool.
Is Whittier older than the other harbors, as far as all that equipment goes?
I think so.
I think so too.
Because it was they looked at it with such strategic value that they put a lot of money and effort into really making that a base there.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was so close to South Central, and I mean, and what they did with that, I mean, in the short amount of time that they just plowed right through the mountain, 2.5 miles, and
It's crazy.
Now we've got, we can go
Drag a 30-foot boat through there.
Yeah, on a whim, you can just go, hey, let's drive to Whittier.
Yeah. Yeah, it blows me away, the guy that was like, you know what? Punch a hole right through that motherfucker right there. See how far it takes.
We're going to do it in one day.
Ready, Jack?
Yeah, I'm ready. Okay, so we were talking about snow. Okay. What was the depth of the record snowfall for one day in Alaska? How many inches in one day?
Like what location?
Just in Alaska.
Is it like Thompson Pass? We'll get like a crap load of snow all at once.
Yeah, I want to say 18 feet.
No, you said
in one day?
In one day.
In inches?
You wanted inches?
Yeah, okay. Well, we'll do the math.
Whatever the math is in 18 feet.
Yeah. We'll do the math, buddy.
18 times 12.
Yeah.
What is that? Come on, smart guy.
I'm off duty, man.
180 plus 24.
All right, my guess is going to be 62 inches.
I'll say 108 inches.
Damn, fucking nailed it. It is exactly 62 inches.
Is it really?
Yeah, way off.
Yeah. Yep.
Because mine's 216 inches.
216? Oh,
Yeah.
My math was wrong.
And I was
nailed it.
wronger.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's a lot. Yeah. So this is like.
That was Thompson Pass.
Yeah. Yep, which was the second question. Damn it. So, 5 feet 2 inches.
Wow, what a good guess. I nailed it.
Yeah, that was good.
Who nailed it?
Yeah, Daniel hit it exactly at 62 inches.
You knew.
I didn't know. No, I didn't. How'd I know?
I don't know. You probably just happened to stumble across some factoid.
Dan Carlin told me.
Carlin said.
Yeah, this actually, since we lost the second question, Brandon nailed the second one without me asking Thompson Pass.
Actually, I think Jerry threw it out there first.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you did. So you both
he was like Thompson
got
Pass?
the second one. Yeah,
Makes
good job,
sense,
guys. Okay, so what year was that in?
81.
82.
I'll just say 72.
55. 1955.
Yep.
Long time ago.
Well, who would be the winner? Because it'd be you can't go over.
You can't go over, so I would.
So it'd be Jerry.
Yeah, Jerry. Yeah.
Good job, Jerry.
Yeah, closest. Good job.
Closest.
We're all
Good
tied.
You got 2 and 3.
2 and 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're gonna speed through a couple before I get to the final one, since this paragraph actually has so much cool stuff in it. All right. Who named it? Who named Thompson Pass?
Ryan Thompson. That's my guess.
Tom Thompson.
Ooh.
No one's gonna get this right?
No, I mean, I just was like, fuck it. Double T.
Yeah, I don't know enough about the history of that and who. I mean, I would just, if I was going to guess a name, I'd just say George.
Yeah, Jack pulls this shit where you're like,
I bet it's like some sort of Russian.
It's actually going back to something that we already had a conversation about in this. What? This is why I talked about it. So did you guess?
I said Ryan.
Okay. So it's U.S. Army Captain William Abercrombie. And Abercrombie was one of the installments for the tours that we just talked about in Kodiak.
So
it just like that's Whittier. Well, the one that's called for Abercrombie's in Kodiak.
Oh,
but
okay.
Yeah, Jerry just brought up that there was installments.
Is Ryan Thompson the homie that just like goes full send?
Full send.
Oh, full send.
He's such a sweet dude though.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
I sent him the thing to the meet party. It was the fastest text back. We're in.
Yeah. Nice.
He's like,
I think he's been at every one, dude.
Oh, he
for
has.
at least like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Remember we sent him home one time in a cab?
He's always looking at me across from smiling.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
love Ryan Thompson, man.
He's a good dude, man.
Yeah, he's all happiness, man.
All happiness.
Kindness, dude. He's great.
I mean, some guys
That's
go
not
full
true.
rage.
I've seen him not happy. If you cross him on the ice,
on the ice, yeah,
you will
is
not
that a different
believe the
story?
wrath that you will receive from this man.
Oh, does Unleash the Beast?
That's it, dude. Everyone is. It's just. I seen him put 3 dudes down in a row in like 3 seconds.
Damn.
And then everyone's just like,
yes, we will.
Stopped.
Online.
And then he's like, okay. When he says change, I will change.
Yeah.
And resume.
Yeah.
At noon hockey, he will tell people to change, and it's.
He calls the change.
Yeah, he'll be.
He dumps it and he's like, change.
No, if you're out there, he'll be like,
long.
Daniel, off the ice.
Oh.
Yeah, long
change.
shifters.
And you're like, yes, sir. Right off.
Good, because I'm fucking sucking wind right now. Perfect.
It's the long shifters, man. Yeah. He
calls out the long shifters.
Yeah, he has no tolerance for them. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
They had our kids out on a couple shifts that were like 2 minutes.
Oh, no.
And it was like, yo, their skates got cement in them. They're just, it's like,
30 seconds and off.
I mean, Katie, head coaches, bad ass coaches. But there were a couple shifts there. I was like, how much longer are you going to keep them out there? Yeah. They can no longer skate. Yeah. They literally have nothing left in the tank.
You got to get them back.
Yeah. What's a shift?
Fresh
Like
legs.
40 seconds?
Yeah, about.
Yeah. Once you hit the minute mark, is you starting to like.
You should be
Depends
changing.
Yeah. Like in their league where it's like competitive, but in adult league, everyone stays longer.
Yeah.
Oh, because you want the time?
Yeah, it's really annoying.
I would think it'd be a bunch of dad bods that were like 17 seconds in, I'm out.
They should be 17 seconds.
Well, they're just floating around.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Not back checking, and you're just like, get off the ice, dude. Short shifts.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Get a lot of too many men on the ice situations going on. Dude jumps off out of the boards and he's like, yo, man, like Thompson's like, get out. Get off.
All right, Jerry, this last one's for you. Okay, so what's the oldest photograph in Alaska?
Wow.
So it's for everyone, but we chose this one for him. Do you
Year?
want to go first or last, Jerry?
Are you talking year?
Year, and what is it of? But year would be the first one part, and bonus is what it's of.
I mean, there's a lot of. Probably not going to be able to come up with it because there's a lot of photography that, it went back to. When they were like photographing the native villages and the villagers and. I don't know,
1892.
It's probably like the late, around the late 1800s, probably right in there, 1895.
1895, and then of what?
Denali. No.
Yeah, that
Not
could.
Denali. A mountain range. Is what I'm going
I
to
would
say.
say probably.
Brandon's looking it up.
You had a
Oh,
good-
no, I'm not. I just, no. I swear to God, I'm not looking it up. I thought of a photo that I wanted to share with Jerry when we're done.
Well, you had a good thought on that because they used to try to take photos of like villagers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you were to go back and if you Google it, there's a lot of natural history there that there will be a lot of photographs of native villages, villagers, native lifestyle, traditional, cultural stuff.
Right.
But I mean, I don't know. It's probably going to be. I know that there was one photograph that was of a young native girl in not a cussbuck, but it was something else. It was like a fur.
Yeah. No, that's good.
And I can't.
Yeah. No, it's we don't take our trivia serious. Like we these are all things that all of them I have to learn.
Yeah.
So it's just I find cool and interesting.
I wish I had a button.
So what's the official guess and what is it?
I said
it was
1892.
1895 and
You didn't say what it was though, Daniel.
I said Denali.
Native
Oh, okay.
Alaskan.
Native Alaskan.
Okay, Brandon.
The first thing that comes to mind, it's not it. It's
Oh, you probably had it, dude.
no. I
Just
mean,
say what came first to mind.
okay.
What do you
The first
think
thing I just thought of for some reason was, I'm just gonna throw a year because I didn't have a year, but I had the photo. Let's say 1897 of a flower, like a beautiful flower.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Like I just thought of
Yeah.
a forget-me-not or something that was just like a fireweed.
Yeah.
Okay.
A
Like
flower.
a landscape.
But I bet it was more of like a mountain or a river or a valley.
Name more.
Just keep rolling. But that's my first
all the
answer.
bits.
The first thing that came to mind was a flower.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I mean
Vegetation,
it
something
seems
beautiful.
like yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What is it?
Okay, so they're black and white photos.
Oh, really?
Of course.
Yeah. And it's 1868.
Holy shit.
You should
That's
look.
old school.
I'll tell you. But
Yeah.
And then it's a photo of Sitka, and it's like the
Oh,
the
that makes
landscape,
sense.
and then
Can you Google it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
1868 photo of Sitka.
yeah. Anyway, it's actually pretty decent for what I would have thought for 1868.
It's more like sepia style.
Yeah.
As you're looking it up real quick, I want to do another, because talking about photography.
Is that it right there?
Yeah, that's it right there.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so that's pretty rad.
Damn, hella just original.
Right, and it's like you
Isn't
see the
Sitka like
chapel
the
there
oldest?
and everything. Or the Russian.
Isn't that like the real like first
That was
Alaskan town?
yeah, that was the Clinkets. Clinkets. That was their capital, and then that's where the Russians came and took over their capital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First they hit the
pretty,
chains.
Pretty
though,
good at that.
Yeah,
and demolished the.
right. And then they brought the Aleuts
Yes.
down to fight.
As slaves.
Yeah.
As their thing.
Yeah.
The Sanctity of Space. It is a. Have you guys haven't watched that? Have you heard of it?
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
I've not seen it yet. No.
It is. There was a really old photographer, and actually helped a lot with mapping and stuff like that. And he was one of the first guys to take photos of a lot of the Alaska mountain ranges from the air with this crazy camera that's like huge. I can't forget what the name of the camera was.
You
but
can forget.
It's very massive, and he would have to take these pictures on a plane with the door open, and it's just freezing, and he'd take these pictures. And it helped a lot of the early mountain climbers choose lines and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And it goes into this guy's photography and how people have been choosing lines and creating these maps from this guy's photography because it was so good. Like no one had ever photographed the mountains from that like kind of level angle. It was always like from below.
Yeah.
So he's one of the first guys that did that. And I think he took the camera from, I don't know, I want to say a military.
NASA?
Yeah, something like that. I wouldn't say NASA, but it was before that. Some sort
Something
of military.
high-tech.
Yeah.
And he would do it, and he was able to, and it goes into Bob Reeve from Reeve Air, one of the original pilots, and he was one of the guys that would fly him in. And basically it goes into the people that first did the traverse of the tooth range, like Beartooth, Moose's Tooth, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And they were able to choose their line through this guy's photography.
Right.
I wish I knew his name, dude. I can't think of it. But the Sanctity of Space.
Man, that's super
Oh,
cool.
that
Where's
is
it
so
on?
cool.
Netflix?
I actually watched it on the plane because I couldn't find it.
Oh, okay.
It was no longer on any of like the major things. I think it is on YouTube, but you have to pay like $2. But it was on Alaska Airlines. I was so stoked. Actually, big shout out to Big Kyle Sellers. He was the one that recommended it to me. And I started looking for it, and I couldn't find it anywhere. And then I left to go to, because I was going to download it to watch it on the plane. And it just happened to be on the plane.
Brad Washburn.
Yes.
Yeah. Famous
Brad
name right
Washburn.
there.
Washburn is
Pull that up, actually. Pull Washburn
that
photography, and it'll show
that
some
name
of his pictures.
is famous in Alaska.
Yeah, he's like original Alaska photographer, mountain photographer. Yeah, Brad Washburn, American explorer. Any interest in that kind of stuff, Jerry?
You mean like maybe something like this?
Yeah, exactly.
Man, that's so cool.
Black
like,
and white?
like photographing that style.
That style.
I mean, I've thought about like hiring one of the helicopter services to go and do that. I know you can go and fly it, but it seems like
Here's that camera, Daniel.
a helicopter, they can orbit around an area and stay
Is
there
that it, bro?
longer.
Yep, that's it. Look at that thing. They don't got a pack for that. There ain't no changing the lens.
Marsupial got a thing for
But
that.
it goes into like this guy would be in this plane and he's flying over, and obviously it's freezing. He's filming in the wintertime and it's like minus 40 in the airplane.
Yeah.
He's just like
Oh my god.
waiting for the shot,
And
you
he's
know.
just sitting there with
And
the
the
door
way,
open.
and he had to like fix the shutter or whatever it was so that he could do it quickly because his hand would freeze, so he wasn't able to click it. It would like stay open or closed. So he figured out a way to make it so he could turn it.
Oh, okay.
Look at that camera, dude.
Jerry, we're gonna need you to haul that
Dude,
bad chicken
that's
around.
awesome.
Get some photos for us.
Yeah, I mean, that thing probably weighs 50 pounds.
Oh, easily. He looks like he's struggling holding it. Look at his gear he's got on though, Daniel. To your point.
Yep.
You know, he's Pacific Airways. That's cool as shit, man.
Yeah, that's so awesome.
Yeah, really good documentary on these guys that climb mountains, and mostly on this guy, Bradford Washburns. What a cool dude. Look at that hat.
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
I got this really cool photo. I again, we're 200 episodes in, and I feel like sometimes some shit gets duplicated. I don't mean to. Sorry, guys. This really cool photo. I thought about Jerry just all of a sudden I got this. I took a photo of this photo at a lodge, and this is just behind the Eagle River Nature Center. Come on.
Okay, yeah, I've seen that before.
You've seen that?
Yeah.
Okay. Just always kind of like blows me away at what maybe used to be.
Well, if you think about how the weather is affected,
This is like 62 or some shit like that. Some color there, though.
What'd you say, Jerry?
if you think about how the weather has affected a lot of these areas and how we've lost, like, probably well, I mean, they have said that we've lost a certain age class altogether in a lot of ranges, but a lot of the older rams, like if you were to look around, even just say if you went to Denali, you won't see these big corkscrew rams because they're all dead.
Mm-hmm.
They've been dead
Their
for
bloodlines are gone, right?
several years. They just died of winter kill, or
Oh, yeah.
injury or whatever the reason. But it'll be like several years before we get more of those, because it's going to take them that long to
Regenerate.
if you've got a 6-year-old, a 5 or 6-year-old ram that you're looking at and you're like, man, if he can make it, you might turn into something,
Yeah.
but it would be 4 or 5 years before it really got to that, like the photo of that big ram,
The
like
big
that.
Kuyu ram.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I shot a 7-year-old that they stamped him as barely curled, even though he was like, I'll admit he wasn't. He was like on the line.
It's like just right on the.
I mean,
right
I
on the
got
cusp.
scolded by the trooper.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they punched it.
It's a big ass sheep, dude.
But dude, he was 7.
Yeah.
And it was like, holy fuck! Could you imagine if he got to
Monster
12
bases. It's
or
a big
13?
sheep.
You know,
Yeah.
and it was like,
Yeah, he had the genetics.
and honestly, I felt guilty.
Yeah.
Even though you get multiple guys that are like, screw that, man, don't feel that way. I mean, I was like,
Well, there's a lot of different thoughts on, sheep hunting and the conservation behind it.
yeah,
There's a lot of guys that, even if they've already taken sheep, they're not going to pass on a legal ram. And then there's guys that are going to look at that ram and say, you know what, and in another season or two, if he can make it and nobody else kills him, he's going to be really nice. So you've got to weigh these odds on the scale of like, what's, what do you like, what do you have in it for yourself to kill that now? And do you want to kill it now, or do you want to wait a season? Will somebody else kill it? Mm-hmm. Will it die in an avalanche? I mean, you don't know.
Yeah.
There's so many
you
variables.
start rattling that through your brain, right?
And, you just have to decide. I mean, if you're good with not shooting it, then so be it. And if you're good with shooting it, then it's legal. Then, make your decision and do it.
And it's a maturation process, dude. Like, and you're in it. Like, I think some people get it like earlier and some people never get it. And it's fucking awesome to see you go through this. Like, cause it's like you care,
man.
you have like a fucking monster ram that's 7 years old. That is a big ass sheep. But it's like you want to see our healthy sheep population. You see like all the popularization of a thing that like a lot of us grew up doing, and it wasn't cool when we did. It was cool amongst like this tiny group of weirdos.
Yeah.
And now it's like popularized amongst the nation. And I think more and more people that actually go out and spend time doing the cool shit and spending the years that you have like boot packing and the hard work and the time away from your family, you're gonna be out there and be like, dude, that thing needs to live longer. And you have just as good a trip as someone that killed that thing.
Well said, and thank you for shedding light on that, because we had this conversation off the mic earlier this morning, or this morning, tonight, how I mentioned I don't think I was even gonna hunt a ram, and then I'm like, well, wait a minute, there's this one spot. I'm done with the like, oh, is he legal? Maybe, but I'm like, no, if he's not a fucking full curl banger, double broom, 12-year-old thing, I'll go risk it all and hike around for 15 days and I won't take a ram. I'm now in a position where I can firmly be 100,000% cool with backing out if it ain't just a foregone conclusion that it's a no-brainer. Got to take that ram. It's a beauty. I'm good now, dude. I'm good.
It's not about killing the ram, dude.
It's not about killing the ram.
Man.
Yep. It's not about killing the ram anymore. It's what'd you call it? Maturation.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude. I'm like almost like emotional about it. And it might be going overkill, but I feel that way now.
I mean, it's awesome to be here and get to say, because I didn't realize that was a thing that I went through at some point until you started going through it. You know?
I mean, I felt like I wanted to quit when I left the game office 2 years ago, and I got scolded, and there's other guys in there, and the guy's like, yeah, this thing's only 7. And I'm like, what? And it's not curl, and I'm showing him my photos and my angles and like all my justification for taking the ram. And I was angry. Legal. I was so fucking angry, dude. I was resentful toward the fucking game office. I was resentful toward the process. And
it's real, you know. I mean, they have a certain job to do, and it's not their place is not to like, you know. I mean, how do they know that wasn't the first ram that you ever got? And then you bring it in there and you're so excited, and then they make you feel like a piece of crap, like you're not a sportsman, or you're not conservation minded enough because you didn't do certain things that somebody else has an idea about. And, you know, that's not always the case. I mean, you know, so, I mean, there's a lot of people that sheep hunt that'll say, oh, well, you know, I can't believe you said that. Like, but the fact of it is, I mean, everybody wants to hunt sheep. And, you know, when we start really getting into the weeds about sheep hunting here in Alaska, I think the
weeds are deep, by the way.
The weeds are deep, and our own worst enemy that I've seen is like the kind of like the group of people that hunt sheep here in Alaska. And some people are going to be like, oh man, I can't believe you said that. But if you look at it, it's kind of true. Like, you know, somebody, you know, you might talk crap about somebody, but I feel like just hunters in general, nobody will talk crap about another hunter more than another hunter will.
Yeah.
And it seems like it's not just here. It's, you know, you only see it so bad here because the circles are so small in Alaska. But, you know, it's nationwide. It's like with whitetails, it's with elk hunting. It's, you know, people that hunt moose, like, oh, you know, like your moose is crap if it's not over 60 or, you know, or whatever.
Yeah, that guy.
You know, or, oh, you know, like, why did you even shoot that ram? It wasn't 40 inches. And it's like, well, that might not be the idea that they have for what they want out of that experience. Mm-hmm. You know, so it's not really, I mean, like, we should be more encouraging than discouraging. And, you know, if you could be more encouraging for people, they tend to be more receptive to education and suggestion.
Oh, man.
Rather than,
you
know, rather than talking down to somebody. And, you know, it's all about, you know, basically, like, you can make friends with somebody or you can make enemies with them. If you can make friends with somebody, they'll be more open to suggestion. Yeah. You could be more persuasive. You know, they'll take things you say into consideration. But if you just, you know, if you take your sheep and they're like, oh man, you shouldn't have shot this. I don't know, you know.
Yeah.
But legal is legal by their definition. So it shouldn't matter if, oh yeah, you know, it was a small ram. Well, so what? It's your ram and maybe you're proud of it. And that's that.
I am now. In the moment, I felt horrible. Like, I was like, I'm not even a sheep hunt again.
Yeah.
I mean, for about 2 minutes, I felt that way. Yeah. But it was very demoralizing to go in there excited to stamp it and then to get that experience and then leave just like with my tail between my legs. And I could give a shit less what any person that hears this says. You can drag me through the mud. You can talk shit. You can have your opinion. You can be an arrogant fuck and say anything you want to say about it, because there's a lot of narcissist and arrogant people in this game when it comes to mountain hunting and sheep. And I'm just going to call it for what it is. But
it's definitely, I mean, people view it as like it's an elitist type of sport.
Yeah.
And while like
how many people are really elite though that claim to be?
You really put yourself in a bad light if all you did was just talk shit about somebody because they never killed a 40-inch ram. And
that's what I mean by that.
So what if they haven't? Maybe they don't care to ever kill one. And if they did, maybe that would be like, that's like their lifetime dream, just to get one 40 inches, because that's kind of like
or you get gifted with permits.
Or you get gifted with
half the people
permits
that have 40-inch rams are all like gifted with Chugach or toke management.
Some of it has to do with like if you're lucky enough to get into flying at a young enough age to where you've built the experience,
totally,
and you have the money to have a super cub, and good for you. That's just another tool. If I knew how to fly and had a super cub, I'd be killing sheep too. But I just I don't fly, so I just have I have a 4-wheeler, or I'll have somebody fly me.
Mm-hmm. Your opportunities are limited.
The opportunities are a little more limited, and that's okay. I mean, there's a lot of things that happened this season that really, it's kind of like what you said, where you had it's kind of like you have an epiphany of your idea of what you thought about what this was changed, and it changed for the better. And like you said, it was a maturation period. And if I love sheep meat. It's not just like about the adventure and like horn size and all that.
Yeah.
A big ram would be great. I love the meat. It tastes good. It's my favorite meat. I mean, if you were to put it up against moose, then I'd like it, the sheep it's the best. But there's not that many of them, or there's, compared to everything else, there's fewer numbers of sheep. It's not like, you don't have multiple options when it comes to sheep hunting. It's got to be a certain size, and that's it. It's not like moose where you got cow tags, you could shoot a spike fork, there's any bull units, there's, units that are 50 inches and 3 brow tines, and
those age classes differ on eating quality and all that. Yeah.
I also feel like we have no room to bitch up here. Like, how many dudes are in North Carolina, California, Wisconsin, all over these places that are like, I've never even seen a sheep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or they've been putting in for points for 80 years to try and get a sheep somewhere.
Yeah. No, it's just, it is being overpopularized, and I think people that are new to the entry to the sport are all about like killing an animal, killing a big animal, and to me that's not what it's about. And I know that what I think it should be about isn't what everyone else should dream of. But when you actually like sit down and you spend time with these people that go out in the mountains and have been for 30 years, like that, they actually like really just like being there, and that's what they remember. They don't remember the kill. They remember like hard moments of like working hard. And, and they'll be like, I wonder,
life-threatening situations,
just that like put suffering, and then we remember those, and we look back a year later, and they sucked that first year, and the next year you're like, fuck man, embrace that suck. It was awesome. Let's get it again.
Before we close it out, Jerry, is there some bucket list shots that you have? Like you hoped you get a goat or a...
I got a few. There's some of them. There's one in particular that I won't mention because I know this is going to go out to the social media world. So that's kind of like
it when we turn it off, if you want.
Yeah, we can talk about it when I turn it off, when we end it. But one thing that I've always had is like really it doesn't matter what kind of wildlife it is, but something in Alaska with like not just the northern lights, but when like the northern lights are blowing up so bright that it casts a shadow on the ground. And with that kind of light in an animal, they're all in frame, and with like not just like a flat tundra, but having somewhere where you've got like some other composition with like some mountains in the background, and you know, maybe some open water, and you got a reflection, and there's like a big bull moose or something, you know, or it could be a muskox, or it could be a grizzly bear, but something that's totally like you found all of that in one image. You didn't just, you know, like you didn't take a picture of the northern lights and then take a picture of a polar bear and then merge it together in Photoshop and make a composite. You know, like that was actually there, that actually happened in that moment. And that this like stuff like that is, you know, you could search for it for 30 years
Sounds
and
amazing.
never find it.
You know what you're going to find on your bison hunt? Is all of that with the great white buffalo.
Oh, yeah.
That albino.
Tatanka?
Man,
White Tatanka?
That'd be great.
But you can't shoot them though.
just the buffalo itself,
The red's like in there.
just if you found a white bison in Alaska, I mean, people would lose it over that.
Yeah.
And I couldn't bring myself to shoot it.
No, some
You get more
asshole
out of
would,
the photos.
Yeah, I get more out of the photos.
I've
than I
always
would-
wondered that about the big bull moose that you see, the big albino. Like, wouldn't it just feel
It just feels wrong.
not right?
Yeah.
Even if he was 78 inches, moose of a lifetime, of many lifetimes. I always like mess around and ask myself, like, what would you do? I think it'd be just way cooler to just watch it.
Yeah.
And if you're lucky enough to have the Canon,
Yeah.
you know, get a photo, but let them be, man. Let them go.
Well, it's like with, you know, in Southeast Alaska, the closer you get to Canada and like into that area, the more you could potentially see. They call them the spirit bears, the white black bears.
Oh,
And you know, they've been spotted in Alaska where you could hunt them. You know, they're not as common as like if you went to the Great Bear Rainforest in Canada, but you know, in an area that was open to black bears, and you see a white one, and it's like, how could you live with yourself to kill it? even though the season's open, it's a legal harvest. You're gonna tan the hide. You're gonna eat the meat. Yeah. You're gonna use the animal. But there's certain things that just shouldn't be. You just shouldn't do.
Double rainbow, man.
You know.
mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, it's hard to say what you do in the moment.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was a thing, though, about the bears.
Little spirit bear?
I didn't know.
Pull it up.
Yeah.
Spirit bear.
Shit,
Spirit
yeah.
bears, yeah.
Because I'm
the
I'm
same-
infatuated. I've been using that word a lot tonight, but I'm infatuated with bears.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love them like love affair.
Yeah, I mean, highly.
What'd you guys call them again? What bears?
Spirit. Highly uncommon in Alaska, but they have been
Spirit.
spotted, like, you know, down in Southeast in certain areas.
Oh no!
There you go.
Oh, it's an albino black bear.
Yeah.
So they're not
They're not really albino.
They're not albino,
Okay.
but
They're their own kind of
Oh my goodness,
branch
dude.
of the species.
I mean, you're right. To shoot that thing and then take a picture of it with blood on it and stuff, it'd kind of be weird. I mean, I'm just
Look
being
at the
real. I'm
baby
just
with
being
the
real.
black bear.
I'm just
Yeah,
being
the black
real
bear.
with it.
So is it like how like labs have like black and
Yeah, I think it's kind of like, I don't know.
So
Look at her. She had two black bears.
oh yeah.
Yeah, so a white like a spirit bear, you know, white black bear could have a black and a white cub.
I'm going to call
or
it
just
right
black
now. I'd
cubs,
never shoot
or
one of
have-
those. I'd never
Yeah.
shoot one of those.
Man, that's it. They're
Right?
so cute. Not the black bears. The black bears aren't cute, but the spirit one is cute.
Oh.
That's nice bears.
Mm-hmm.
Jerry, what are some maybe some tips for some upcoming or maybe younger people or people that are trying to get into outdoor photography, adventure photography?
It's inspired inspiring photographers?
Yeah. Someone that's maybe trying to get out there,
Aspiring,
sees
Aspiring.
Yeah.
sees
Yeah, I
some of the
said
pictures you're
inspiring, but
taking and something
I'm
like
ignorant,
that.
sorry.
What would you say were maybe some of the tips of someone who's trying to get into it?
I mean, it's 90% of it is spending the time and being out there. You have to put yourself in a place where those opportunities are going to happen. And if you're not there, you're not gonna get them. You know, there would be a huge difference between just always photographing from the side of the road, which you can see amazing things, or putting yourself 20 miles, you know, in a mountain range somewhere off the highway, and then seeing what's there, what is not influenced by, you know, outside factors. You know, it's the first and foremost is just the time. So putting yourself in the places where those amazing things are going to happen, and then it doesn't have to be the best gear. It doesn't have to be, you know, an expensive camera. It's more about, you know, kind of like how you use that gear is what makes the image.
More of like a process.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a process, but you know, you could take if you spend the time, you could have, you know, if you took a $500 camera and went out and get the same shot that somebody with a $15,000 camera had, but you know, if they don't know how to use that gear, then it's not going to be as good even with somebody with lesser equipment. So it's just taking the time to understand your gear, how it works, you know. I mean, there's so many resources now. It's not like when I started to really get into photography and got serious about it, it wasn't as much on YouTube. Like, you couldn't just get on there and be like, okay, you know, bird photography settings, or best bird photography settings for Canon, you know, or Nikon or Sony or whatever. And, you know, there's so much of that on there now. Just getting on, and I mean, you could learn how to use the camera before even buying one now.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, you go down a deep rabbit hole.
You could go down a deep rabbit hole
on that. I have.
But I mean, for me, the biggest thing is just if it's going to be wildlife, it's going to be a lot of time involved. It's just spending the time to do it, and the shots will come.
Mm-hmm. Well, and what I mean by that, the process would be very similar to the process you go through to scout out a hunting spot or a fishing spot. It's like, where are you going to park? Where are you going to hike? What line and saddle are you going to take to get to this valley?
A lot of it is very similar. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you have to get there to get the shot first. Yeah. Right? Like, you got to logistically figure out what the hell you're going to do. Yeah. And then it can just be an iPhone that gets the shot.
That's happened. You know, people have just used an iPhone for it.
That right there's an iPhone picture.
iPhone. Like iPhone
just
8.
saying though, if it was the Canon 4000 2.0, it would have been insane.
Not grainy.
Not grainy, but the point is where you were at in the moment and the time and where it was. And
that picture right there, I mean, that's like one of our first sheep hunts, first time in the Brooks Range. Just me, when I look at that, it just brings me back to that exact moment, which I think that's what photography does for the photographer. You know, it just takes you back to that place and that time and how you felt, and you kind of just like absorb all that moment through that one picture. Just kind of brings it all back.
If I remember right, it was miserably cold.
It was.
That afternoon.
It was. It really was.
I think that's when I got up to go walk around, like, fuck, dude, I can't sit here any longer.
Yeah. Jerry, we appreciate you coming out.
Oh, I appreciate being on. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for all your stories and all your tips and your beautiful photos. Anyone looking to, once again, to look at some of this stuff or get in contact with Jerry, there's 2 Instagram accounts. It's Jerry Herrod Photo Alaska and also at Jerry Herrod Hunt Alaska.
Both great handles, both great content. Reach out to them. We can have folks ask you questions, right, Jerry?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like how to get in the game and
Where the big sheep
some
is
pro
at.
tips, and
Yeah, I don't know about the big sheep.
he'll tell you where some sheep
Upper Huff.
might be.
Yeah.
But the big ones you have to find for yourself.
Yeah, Jerry, it was great to get to know you. Thanks
Yeah,
for coming
thanks.
on, man.
Yeah, and thank you for that awesome piece, man.
Oh, yeah,
that
my
was
pleasure. Yeah.
unbelievably grateful, and that was just the thought that counts, man. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yep.
Yeah, thanks for your time.
Yep. Thank you, Alaska. Check out the website, alaskawildproject.com. Also, patreon.com/Alaska Wild Project. And as always, Brandon.
Stay wild.
You'll remember my speaking to you of what I call your overcautiousness. Are you not overcautious when you assume that you cannot do what the enemy is constantly doing?
The Alaska Wild Project podcast is brought to you by the following sponsors.
Barney's Sports Chalet, supplying hunters with the best hand-selected gear since 1963. The exclusive home of frontier gear built for the rugged Alaskan terrain. Your one-stop shop for all your outdoor needs. Visit Barney's today at 906 West Northern Lights.
Arbor Digital, the forefront of digital assets, cryptocurrencies, and wealth management, providing a low-cost, research-based investment strategy for Alaskans looking to invest their hard-earned money. Visit arborcapital.io today to put your money to work.
Tailored Restoration 24-hour emergency home services, helping Alaskans restore their dreams since 1972. Services include fire, water, mold, post-emergency cleaning, repair, and remodeling. Give them a call in Anchorage, Eagle River, Matsu, or Fairbanks. Hit them up at tailoredrestorationalaska.com.
Total Truck and Alaska Overlander, Alaska's premier supplier for custom automotive accessories and overlanding products, providing all-inclusive rental vehicles and trailers custom outfitted to explore the Alaskan backcountry with a unique and convenient traveling experience.
Serrano's Mexican Grill, 2 locations, one on Tudor, one on Northern Lights. The Northern Lights location has their new tequila bar. Check it out. Also see their daily specials at serranosmexicangrill.com.
TheTreehouseAK.com, located at 341 Boniface Parkway, Alaska's own and grown cannabis and CBD store. Ask the bud tender what the strain of the day is to get your 10% off. The Treehouse, where the culture lives.
The Connoisseur Lounge, Alaska's premier locally owned and operated cannabis retailer, located in the heart of Palmer, Alaska. Their cultivated products include Snowcap Romance, Aurora Haze, Super Glue, and much more. Find them at theconnoisseurlounge.net.
AKO Farms, located in Sitka, Alaska, built from the ground up with concentrates as their single motivation, with exclusive products such as their sugar wax, full spectrum diamond sauce carts, and more. Ask your local bud tender about AKO.
Marijuana has intoxicating effects and may be habit-forming and addictive. Marijuana impairs concentration, coordination, and judgment. Do not operate a vehicle or machinery under the influence. There are health risks associated with consumption of marijuana. For the use of only by adults 21 and older. Keep out of the reach of children, and marijuana should not be used by women who are pregnant or breastfeeding.
The Bait Shack, located on Ship Creek upstream of the bridge. Can't miss the bright red shack. They are the go-to fishing gear rental and guide service on Ship Creek. Tight lines and fish on. Come hook into the action with them. Hit them up at thebaitshackak.com.
Snow Pro AK, your snow and ice management company specializing in business and residential properties. They know what it takes to keep your property presentable and safe. Give them a call for a free estimate at 280-7098 or visit lawnproak.com. Double Shovel Cider Company, located off of Arctic and 58th. Handcrafted Alaskan-made colonial ciders. They also have a tap room downtown on the corner of 5th and E. Stop by today and taste an award-winning cider.
The Alaska chapter of Backcountry Hunters and Anglers. BHA is the voice of our Alaskan public lands, waters, and wildlife. Their goal is to uphold our hunting and fishing legacy while keeping our public lands wild. Stand up today and join BHA at backcountryhunters.org.
Would you not claim to be at least his equal in prowess and act upon the claim? I say try. If we never try, we shall never succeed. This proposition is a simple truth, and it's too important to be lost sight of for a moment. If we cannot beat the enemy where he now is, we never can. It is all easy if our troops march as well as the enemy, and it is unmanly to say that.